100 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs have been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham, because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park, and don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows, but as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's me, Gabriel Agbonlahor, and alongside the pundits of the year.
So my lasting memory is the guy that's driving the boat diving off the front of the boat. Remember Live and Let Die, James Bond, yeah. Roger Moore, that was me in a jet ski. So I went flying over.
You could actually feel the emotion in the place, you could feel it. It was palpable, it was magic. If there is one player in the league that we can cut a bit of slack, it's got to be Mo Salah, because he has lit up our league. Get back to the bumper. right, talk me through it.
What a lot of nonsense that is. It's SpongeBob SquarePants.
How many scenes did it take to get the kiss correct?
Just the one, Gab, you know the drill.
He's Rangers' all-time top goal scorer. He's won 2 European Golden Boots. He came 21st in the 1987 Ballon d'Or. He starred in a film alongside Hollywood legends. He also came 87th in the 1999 Top 100 Sexiest Men Alive. And now he's a 2-time SJA Pundit of the Year winner. It's Ally McCoist.
Listen, the first thing I've got to do is inform the listeners that I had absolutely no idea. No idea whatsoever you were going to take the floor there.
I know.
I was getting myself all prepared already, and bang, you've hit us with the opening, and you weren't bad at it.
Thank you, mate. I can do 2 minutes, not 4 hours. Okay. Maybe in 2045, I'll get there, Ali. Congratulations, mate. Well done. Deserved.
Thank you very, very much.
Yep, deserved.
Thank you very much. And in my acceptance speech, all I did was thank the girls, right? I thanked Daisy, I thanked Joe, Yaz.
What for?
I'll tell you why. And I said it because, see, if you forget, MD, when you're thanking people in speeches, I always find that the guys go over it a lot quicker than the women do if you forget them.
Agreed.
Right. So I was not prepared to take any chances. I thanked every female that I knew on the planet that was...
Don't work for the channel.
Yes, and I didn't, but I'll do it now. A big thank you to Ollie and Scott as well. Musical Ed.
What did they do again?
Well, no, they're great. I mean, the show is a big part of our lives, and we love it. And they didn't get the thanks last night. It deserved. I'm going to give them it now.
Yeah.
So with a good wee night, I was pretty well behaved. Well, I was very well behaved, Gab. See, that's the beauty of. Remember we spoke about it. That's the beauty of doing the breakfast show.
Yes.
Because it keeps you on your toes.
Exactly. You can't get too carried away.
Correct.
Well, Ali, from everyone here, congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Fully deserved.
Thanks, mate. Well,
like...
it's you know the drill. It's a team game. Yeah. It's a team game, and it's a wee award for the breakfast show, which is brilliant.
Yes,
brilliant. And
future contract negotiations.
Well, I better see Liam when we go after his show. I'll be saying to Liam, just stick a couple of zeros on that, mold son.
Well done, though, mate.
Thanks, pal.
And I know what you like, Ali. Some people. They're complacent now after winning awards.
Oh,
I know
kick on.
Like that.
You want to
go and get another one?
Oh, Champions League, I'm after now. Thanks, pal. Well, as you know, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan. Plus, get an extra £500 in your part exchange shop. The upgrade event today. So, as you heard there, with what can only be described as a fantastic opening, Gabby's with us this morning. We're going to get straight into last night's game, mate. Man United just about got the job done at Brentford last night, winning 2-1. Old Trafford to move a step closer to Champions League football. Brilliant result for them. The headlines belong to the captain, though, as Bruno Fernandes bagged his 19th Premier League assist of the season. Only saw the goals, mate, so he leaved him one shy of that all-time record held by Henry and De Bruyne. After the game, Carrick told talkSPORT that his long-term future was still unclear.
It's not for me to say, really. I can just try and keep, doing what I'm doing here, really, and to try to keep winning games. I genuinely don't know. It's for the club to kind of decide, really, that. But I'm enjoying what we're doing. The boys are giving everything for us. I think we can still get better. I think levels of performance can get better, and that's what we're working towards every day. But certainly, winning games is a good habit, and it's something that we want to keep doing as much as possible.
He's getting it, hasn't he? He's got to.
I think
he's got to. Don't even think about it.
You know what? I think he's getting it, but the clauses that will be in this contract when he does get it, there'll be a lot more clauses than there would be if it was a Iriola, if it was a Luis Enrique.
I get it.
Do you know what I mean, Ali? Yeah. Because you've seen Liam Rosinia. Yeah, this 6-year contract, 24 million. He got paid out 4 million. So I can imagine with Michael Carrick, if he gets a 2, 3, 4-year deal, whatever it is, he will have a clauses in there. Why
not just give him a couple of years?
I said give him a year, give him 2 years or something. But I could imagine even that. Say if Manchester United next season don't get into the Champions League, we're allowed to sack you. There'll be different clauses in his contract. Manchester United are going to learn their lesson maybe from previous years.
Yeah, I get it.
And get it right. But I agree what Cundy said last night. Wait till next season when there's Champions League. They've had it nice, Ali. Everyone's playing 2 games a week, European games. Wait till next season when there's Champions League games and the pressure of that. So I think he deserves the job, but he will know next season will be a lot harder.
I'm with you, mate. What I would do is, I don't think there's any reason for a 4, 5, 6 contract. Just say, Michael, there's a couple of years.
Yep.
Let's go on with it, see how you go on. You're in a good place. You've put us in a good place. You deserve the contract.
We want to kick on now.
Absolutely.
Top 4 is a minimum. Yeah. Champions League football is a minimum for this football club. We want to get closer to winning the title. We want to get as far as we can in the Champions League. The clauses in the contract. You don't reach these steps that we want, then we're allowed to sack
See,
him.
there's no way that we're trying to take anything away from the job he's done, because he's done a brilliant job. But that is a big factor. In the same way that I think Newcastle will have a better season next season
100%.
because they don't have any European football.
100%, Ali. Imagine, like, I know you do have the double game week now and then, but imagine going through a week and you can play on a Saturday,
Massive.
and then you've got the Sunday, Monday off, your Tuesdays are light training, your Wednesdays off, your Thursdays, your shape, your Fridays are light session, play again. Other teams are like, who's fit, who's available, who's got a knock, who's got a chance of getting injured, who's on the marker for an injury, we can't train him. It's chaos when you're playing midweek.
100%.
Aston Villa or Nottingham Forest play Thursday, then they'll play Sunday or Monday, whatever it is. It's chaos, so you're gonna drop more points.
Bearing that in mind, Gab, what a job he's done. Your man at Villa.
I know. Incredible.
What a job he has done. Hasn't he?
Incredible.
I mean, I think Villa could end up having an unbelievable season. So could Forest, by the way.
Yeah. But what I said as well, Ali, last week is that if you are Spurs, you play Villa on Sunday. I think Villa are playing Forest away first leg.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough game. Could easily lose that by a goal or a draw or whatever the result is. Will the manager, will he rest players? Will he rest McGinn? Will he rest Tielemans? Will he rest Watkins? Because this football club need to win this trophy, Ali.
Right.
8 points clear of
Here's my question to you then. Do they need to win this trophy more than they need to finish in the Champions League places?
The club will disagree, financial reasons. But if you ask the manager, ask any fan, ask any fan, what's more important? 1996, Ali, the last time Aston Villa won a trophy.
League Cup, I know.
It's winning this trophy. And to lose to Forest would be the worst way to go out. I know I'm being a bit negative, but like, I'd rather of us play Porto. Because you lose to FC Porto, so you know what? They're European great.
Yeah. That's a brilliant question here, and you've answered it immediately.
We've done the Champions League.
There was no thought in your mind.
We've done the Champions League that season. It's great to be in the Champions League. It's amazing. But to win...
I'm not sure all Villa fans would agree with you, mate.
I think they will, Ali. When you see West Ham win the Conference League, you see Newcastle, the Carabao Cup.
Oh, I know.
You see Spurs. You see the parades.
I know. I get it.
Do you know what I mean? Birmingham City won something before Villa. They won was it the Carabao Cup? They beat Arsenal.
They beat Arsenal
was
1-0.
2010 or whatever it was.
Ally McCoist was the manager.
Exactly. So it's been too long, and to get so close again in the semi-final, and there's a chance of going out to Forest. I don't think I can watch Thursday, Ali, because I'm just like the embarrassment of losing to Nottingham Forest during a relegation battle, and now you look at the table. They've got a bit of breathing space.
By the way, listen, mate. 4 weeks ago, Villa were massive favourites.
Exactly.
I think it's a game proper game.
50-50.
I know. Yeah,
it's 50-50.
That's how I see it, mate. How I see it. Quick one. Bruno Fernandes. Gab, what? I don't care what MD says. He has to come into the equation.
100%.
For Player of the Year.
You know why he will as well, Ali? He will come into the Player of the Year conversation, especially from the likes of me and you. You know why? Because we were strikers. I'm watching the game last night, Ali, and I'm watching Mbeumo just make a run. Just run, and you're going to get the ball in front of you. Shesko, time you run, you're going to get it. His goal. His delivery, his timing of passing, he's making the right decision and waiting is incredible. He's a striker's dream. Imagine, Ali, you're in and around the box.
Oh, no,
a little
mate.
bit of movement, and you know he's going to find you. The
last time I saw him was at the game they won at Old the Bridge, Stamford Bridge. They beat Chelsea 1-0. And Gabby, he just looked a level above everything on the pitch.
Do you know the only player that I've seen in recent years better? Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne and
he's one behind his record,
Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland's relationship of like, whenever De Bruyne got the ball, he knew what ball to make. Fernandes, De Bruyne are the only players I've seen with that quality for the last 10 years?
Yeah, he's been amazing, no doubt about it. Okay, United fans, what do you hear from me this morning? We're right. Does Michael Carrick only deserve a 1-year contract? What would you do in that situation? Give us a call and let us know. 03717 22344. That is the number to call. Coming up, we have a surprise guest for you this morning. Don't want to miss it.
So they won, Martin, and well done Arsenal for doing so. But with 4 games to go, can Arsenal unshackle themselves? Do they need to?
Well, I mean, look, to be honest, the situation Arsenal are in is normal. It's never easy to be a team that doesn't win it after successive years. 22 years for Arsenal, 26 years, wasn't it, for Manchester United, 44 years for Man City. You know, we can still hear Aguero in the commentary because what it meant and the day they tripped up there against Queen's Park Rangers. So these nerves are there. It's natural. I just thought that the weekend, Eze, how he handled those nerves, I think he's an example to everybody in the team, how he's loving the situation. I was stunned by the naivety of Newcastle, not recognising that, okay, we're all marking in the box, but that's not the play we need to pick up. And there was 2 early corners that was a sign to that. And his finish was magnificent.
But that's strange, isn't it? Eze, the one player who's never been involved in a title run-in, in a title race, is the standout.
Yes, but you think about his progression in the game, 27 years of age. Arsenal didn't want him, rejected him. His route to this level, he's enjoying the moment, embracing it. And that has to be the attitude. I think if I contrast that with Zupimendi, he's played a lot of games. It's a difficult moment for him. But then these are the players you support. The result does the trick. It gives you that tonic. It makes you think you can keep going. You know, we've sat here now so many times. For me, it's been like climbing Mount Everest here. We have 4 games to go where Arsenal are top of the league and in the semi-final of the Champions League. And there's a crisis everywhere, every week.
They sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
You know that tune, and I'm on my toes because the last time this gentleman came into the studio, seemingly I was too sensible. By all accounts, I was far too sensible, Gabby.
Who said that?
I have no idea. You know what that music means? That's right. Our good pals over at Virgin Radio have decided to resurrect an absolute 90s classic.
Resurrect? What is it?
Yeah, resurrect. But resurrect means it's dead.
Yeah, roll away the stone.
Exactly.
Come on.
Who wrote resurrect? Right? You can't even writing resurrect. I don't mind saying resurrect when he's not in the studio, but the man's in the studio. Your favourite TV show? I'm not finished yet.
Okay, no, they were saying reimagine last week.
Reimagine.
That's better,
isn't it? It sounds better.
Yeah.
That's
what Katie Shanahan was saying.
Yeah. See
yeah.
That, you get
the lighter touch.
You do get
ever since he's won the award, right?
He's changed.
He's so much more cutting, don't you think? It's not even been 12 hours. By the way, did you go?
Yeah.
Did you make a speech?
Yes.
What did you say?
Well, all I did, Chris, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. All I did when I walked up, I just said I'd like to thank Joe, Daisy, Yasmin, Kate, Kim, Karen, and Ellie, right? And I said to the guys, you'll notice a common denominator out there. They're all female. And the reason I've done that is because, quite frankly, I always forget people. And I tend to find that the guys got over it better than the ladies.
All right. Priorities.
Exactly, mate. So
that's Ellie here, Joe here, everybody here.
Yes.
Did you guys thank the wife?
I don't know if I've...
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Well, you know.
No.
It was...
7 out of 8 and all that.
Nearly.
Did Goldstein win?
I don't know. No, Jim White won.
Jim White and Simon Jordan won,
Yes,
didn't they?
Jim-
Because Andy was banging on about it all last night. He's like,
That's the
it's
danger.
a big award tonight.
That's
It's a
the
big
danger.
one. We're hoping for an award. Come on, guys.
That's why
I've seen clips of.
That's why you don't bang on about it.
I tell you what.
Clips of someone storming out, but I can't name names.
Really?
No.
Happy, apparently.
Yeah?
I don't want to cause no trouble, but they weren't happy in getting the.
Why not? They always do it to you. Come on.
I can't say.
But you can smell success in here. You can actually smell it. Where is the award? I can smell it. Seriously. I can smell something.
Is it the sweet smell of success?
Yeah. Honestly. It's so cool. How many awards have you won for broadcasting?
That's the second time I've won that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
But you are the best. I mean,
listen,
we can talk about it, can't we?
It won't change me.
Did Darren Fletcher win as well?
No.
Because you should win. I mean, you are the best commentator and co-commentator.
Very good.
It reminds me. Do you remember when Brendan Foster and Steve Cramp used to commentate all the long distance
brilliant, weren't
races?
they?
And now Paula does it. Paula does it really well. But they were like it was different, wasn't it? It was like 5 for the price of 2 or whatever.
You feel at home,
man.
don't you? When you're listening to a game, you're watching a game, you hear them, you feel,
Yeah, and when sometimes Fletcher's on the night after, isn't he, with somebody else?
That's right.
And it's always good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But when you two, you've got something going on, you know.
I'm lucky.
Are you going to go on tour?
Well,
Take it on tour. Seriously, take it on tour.
Who do you
man.
think we should support? Do you think we should the Stones?
Headline.
The Stones. Oh, we need to support. I think.
Well, the Manics are currently touring with Suede, and they're looking for a third.
Chris, you're not going to believe this.
Come on.
You will not believe this. The first time that you and I met when I came on the show, you know who we're on? The Manics.
The Manics, okay.
Can you believe that?
I do think we have a clip from that show right now.
No.
I think we do.
Gaz is there, and he's just moved 1.9 miles away from me, actually.
And how do you know that?
Because my wife was out as soon as he was looking at the house with a melonica.
He's just 1.9 miles away. Oh, no, it's all about.
No, but he's a brilliant lad. I mean, he does things like, he genuinely turns up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and he's charting the door, and the security lights are on outside, and Alison's kicking me, so I jumped up, and usually you're running about trying to put something on, and I look out the window and Gaz is there. And I was like, jeez. I said, you all right? I'm thinking obviously the worst. And he said,
And he's naked, obviously.
No, he's fully clothed, which was surprising. He just said, I couldn't sleep, do you fancy a game of pool? So I actually said yes, and as I'm making my way down the stairs, all I can hear is Missy shouting, you're worse than he is.
We've got to wrap it up now suddenly, because once again we could talk all night. But very briefly, let's just show a shot that displays how close you and Paul are. I think we've got this shot here. There you are. How high was your voice then?
Is it?
He just said it was a lot more Scottish.
Yeah, you're a lot more Scottish then, mate.
Do you think so?
How much time in London, Ali?
That was the best times. That wasn't it, mate?
Well, these are the future good old days.
Of course
as well.
they are.
You know, that's where we are, isn't it?
Well, you got to enjoy. You got to grasp everything.
We got KSI on this week, right?
That's what
So what about this? What about this? KSI Friday. Come on!
I love it.
Have you had KSI on this show?
Yes.
And you found out what KSI means, didn't you?
Yes, knowledge, something intelligent. Not is it knowledge, strength, intelligence? Is it no?
Knowledge and something else. Have you got big
integrity?
Integrity.
Integrity.
What about you got Big Show on today, haven't you, Paul White?
Yes.
Now we've called it. Well, on my script it says the Big Show, but it's not. It's Big Show, isn't it? It's not the Big Show.
It's just Big Show.
It's just Big
the same
Show.
as it's Everton Stadium, which isn't the Hill Dickinson. It's Hill Dickinson.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
for
So
bringing it.
yes, it's all about educating each other.
Very handy.
This morning.
Yeah, and it's all going on. You know, we were trying to get you on the first TFI Unplugged on Channel 4.
Oh, man.
Right. But we're filming today. You got your award. Can you come and see us after?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'm actually flying to Madrid for the Arsenal
It'll take
game.
5 minutes.
Oh, I'd love to.
Did you do it?
I don't know.
Because every week we have a star of the week, and usually it's like a little school kid who's won an award
100%.
or raised loads of money. But because you've won your little award, you can come on a star of the week.
You have to speak to his agent.
What?
First,
Hold on a minute.
It's travel agent. Travel agent, estate agent.
We did you just say we normally have a little kid that comes on with a wee award?
Or like a really unbelievable school teacher who's just like an amazing person. Last week we had this lady on called Jill, who runs the London Marathon as Paula the Polar Bear. She's raised over £2 million on her own running, right? The week before, I had a little guy called Steve Max who's got brittle bone disorder. But we can have a little Ally McCoist on today.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Yeah?
We yesterday on the show, You know the lad that ran with the fridge in his back?
Oh my gosh, fridge man.
Is it Jordan Adams? I think it's
I
Jordan
ran not with him, but I ran next to him for quite a lot of the race. And the cheers he was... I mean, his story's unbelievable.
Oh, mate.
His story's unbelievable. And he started running 32 for 32 yesterday, didn't he?
Oh, mate.
So it's his second marathon of 32 today after the London Marathon. And that fridge is a proper fridge.
Do you know what I did, Chris? I did a Chris Evans yesterday, right? Pack of 6, on the news. It's the exact thing that you'd have done. We read about him, read about the story and all that. I said, listen, MD's out there, find him.
Yeah.
We've got to speak to him.
Yeah.
And within 15 minutes, his mates were all onto him and he phoned up.
Wow.
And it was something that you exactly would have done.
Maybe he should be star of the week. Is what he's doing more important than winning your little award last night?
What if I come out his fridge?
Do you know, that'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Do you know what? Do you know maybe we should get him for star of the week this week on TFI?
Oh.
Maybe little Andy Goldstein. Should we do that? Should we do that?
You're a cruel man.
No, but that'd be fun though. We got loads of people on this week again.
Tell me who's on.
Oh gosh, I don't know. We got.
Look at your. I tell you what I do. Look at your phone and tell me who's on.
We got a choice of people. We got loads of people on. It's so funny because when we finished running on Sunday, 1 hour later, I got a text from the producer of TFI Unplugged. I thought it was going to be, congratulations, well done. What is, got next week's running order ready, if you've got a minute. It's like, literally, we were still on the mall. We've got Pet Shop Boys, Aerosmith, Eurythmics, Samuel L. Jackson, Robbie Williams interview we're going to replay. Pamela Anderson, we're going to play some of that. She was brilliant on the show. Got Courtney Cox maybe on the show this week. We got new guests this week. Tim Minchin, Selene Henry's coming on, Lucy Beaumont, KSI, but more importantly, little star of the week. His 30th anniversary, back on TFI Friday, the one, the only. Ali, did you ever think you'd be better at commentating than playing football?
There's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who say it wouldn't be difficult, to be honest, Chris. But it's a bit. You and I spoke so well last week. It's the best job in the world.
Yes.
Right on the halfway line. Best seats in the house. Commentating the game, mate.
Yeah. Well, they say, don't they? If you can get paid to do something you love, great.
Correct.
But even better, if you can get paid to do something you would pay to do, like that's
correct.
Dreamsville, mate.
Absolutely. I've got a quick question for you, mate. What would the main difference be in radio and television, and which do you prefer?
Radio all the way.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but it depends. You are the radio person or you're not. It's a bit like being a night owl or an early morning person. You know, you're either one or the other. Yeah. And if you do radio, you can do telly. If you do telly, you can do radio. But look at us now. We're riffing away. We're having a good time. The thing about doing radio is, you know, you can't really make a library out of what you've done because it's very, in the moment, it's very new. Yeah. But it is more enjoyable. And also, if you've got a 3-hour show, guess how long it takes to do? 3 hours.
I know.
You got a 1 hour show in telly. It can take like a month.
I know.
You know, it's
likewise, you can complain.
And this is much more natural.
You can complain about a lot of things on the radio.
Yeah, you can have a proper
gas bills, bikes being left out.
Anything you want. See, the beauty of radio, I think, is, of course, you've got a script the same as you have in television.
Yeah.
But you can go there, you can go there, you can go there.
Well, and also you can reset, can't you? Every 10 minutes, you reset with the adverts and the news. We reset with the tune.
Yeah.
You know, you just go again. You know. By the way, Gabs, you should get an award. Gabs should get an award for the most accommodating sort of co-worker of all time. Do you know why? Did you hear about this the other night? I know we're running out of time. I've got a show to do.
By the way, well, you know better than me.
Okay.
I've got somebody screaming over here.
One sec.
His show starts in a minute.
Do you know what Gabby did the other night? So he's co-commentating with someone who we're going to stay in the Premier Inn, invites him back to his house and stay yours. Yeah.
Oh,
was it Crookie?
Crookie, yeah.
Hey.
What a nice guy.
I told you.
There's Premier Inn or Agbonlahor Heights.
Yep.
Yeah.
7-star service.
Well, I'll tell you something. Yes. When I woke him up at 6:20 on the morning
with a cup of tea,
he wasn't a pretty sight for me.
No.
I'll get that out of my head.
So that's never going to happen again.
Alex Crook hugging a pillow on my head.
He said very nice house, very tall ceilings. That's actually what he said about it.
Definitely not.
I gotta go.
Right, brilliant to see you, mate. We'll see you. Have a great show, Chris. Thanks a lot, mate. Take care. Oh, what a lovely surprise. What a lovely surprise. Right, where are we coming?
Getting more jobs straight away.
And that was magic,
after your award.
That was magic, mate. Big reminder, watch TFI Unplugged this Friday at 11 p.m. on Channel 4. And apparently, I mean, I'm just trying to think, 28 years ago that was.
Wow.
Oh, man alive. Coming up, we turn our attention to a huge night in the EFL. It is, of course, live on the talkSPORT network.
I'm telling you, these things happen. We go,
Right.
no, I won't give
Oh,
that one.
here
No,
we
we'll give
go.
that one.
Get the violin out.
No, I'm
Get the violin.
Well, David Moyes
It's a
is...
conspiracy against Spurs.
No, it's not about Spurs.
Here we go.
It's about the Premier
The
League
reason-
bottling it. That's what it is. It's about the Premier League bottling it in big decisions. It happens at the top.
Where's the violin,
It
Dave?
happens at the top.
John-
it happens
John,
at the
where's-
bottom.
John,
It
get-
happens every time, every season.
What do you
happens
mean
all
every
the time.
season?
Man United used to get it, all the decisions
Oh,
straight away.
here we go.
And everyone was always uproar about it. Man City get the big decisions and people go mad about it. It happens every season. So don't say it don't happen.
No,
because
it does happen. It does happen, but there's no conspiracy. Can you just accept?
It's not about conspiracy.
There's no
conspiracy. No, it's the Premier League referees. They bottle it when it comes to big decisions. VAR there.
Don't
and
bottle
it's a stonewall penalty. Stonewall.
It is.
And how you can get that wrong and say that that's not a penalty is outrageous.
Now, Jay, I agree it's a penalty, but what I cannot accept.
No, it's a joke. Don't play the violin.
No, play it.
No, don't
Keep
play
playing
the
it. No,
violin.
no, play the violin.
Because David Moyes, they look at it's only Everton. It's only Everton. Right? Everton are trying to get European football. They're trying to get European football. It's a massive moment for Everton, that. Huge moment. And then West Ham get off the hook, get away with it. It's just ridiculous. It happens every year, mate. And don't say it don't, because it happens every season. Every season, the big clubs get the big decisions, and then the ones at the bottom, they don't get the decisions. It's happening to Spurs. All right, West Ham get it. But I'm sure there's moments where West Ham, look at it and go, how's that gone our way?
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931, when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy, and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's Tuesday the 28th of April and it's 36 minutes past 6. We're here with our good friends Arnold Clark. It's a perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Right, Gab, we're moving on to boxing. And it's news every fan's been waiting for, best part of a decade now, I think. After AJ versus Fury, it was confirmed, me old son, to take place in November. Former featherweight champion Carol Frampton, the brilliant Carol Frampton, joined the boys on Drive and spoke of his excitement at the Battle of Britain was finally happening.
No, I don't think it is. I do think that it is a super fight. I think it would have been a better fight 5 years ago, but in my opinion, because of the characters that are involved and because of the whole narrative and what they've done in their career so far, I still think it's probably the biggest fight in boxing that we're going to see this year, certainly anyway. So it's still a huge fight.
Fair point, yeah. Yes. We're in total agreement, aren't we? I need to be brutally honest with you, and the floor is yours after this. I think the fight certainly, 7, 8, 9 years ago would have had not far more appeal, but well, it would have been. They'd have been at the lads might have been at their peak. Certainly at their peak, and that minute. But we're getting it.
But it happens a lot.
Yep.
We see so many fights that we want to see when they're in their 20s, and we end up seeing it when they're later in their 30s. The UK will stand still, Ali, when that fight is on. And I've been watching At Home with the Furies, and
you've been loving that, haven't you?
I've loved it, mate. It's unbelievable, absolute chaos. But watching that, Ali, Tyson Fury, I think he fights for a long time. I don't think it's 1 or 2 more fights. I don't.
Do you really?
Just by watching that program and seeing how much.
What is it then? Just a need for it? Fear of giving up.
When you watch it, he's not happy being at home. He's not happy doing a school run. It's not enough for him.
Yeah.
You know, he needs something to look forward to. He needs that buzz.
Yeah.
Like, he loved the fact that he's back involved and the public need him, and, you know, the fame that comes with it, and the need to train for a fight. So I've just got a funny feeling, Ali, that he fights for a long time, mate.
Gab, do you not think that's something, well, a lot of boxers?
Yeah.
You know, is it the fear of giving up, the fear of, it must be, you know?
I think as well for boxers, especially like Tyson Fury, they train when they're not. Do you mean like a retired boxer?
Yeah.
They're still going to go on the bag, still going to want to train to keep fit for their mental health and for their health as well. So he's probably thinking, why not have a fight? But his family, his dad falls out with him, Ali, on it as well.
Is that still the case?
Yeah, because he shouldn't be risking one punch when he's got like 7 kids to look after. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't think
has his dad got a point?
Yeah, I get it. But then Tyson Fury's probably thinking,
it's in his blood and he can't.
I don't want to, I'm 37. I don't want to just take the kids to school and go and do some bags and come home when I've still got time now to get these big fights. And I think he comes back, you know, like Mike Tyson's come back in his late 40s, 50s. Tyson Fury will be doing that 100%.
I hated that, you know.
I know, they can't help it though, are they?
I know, but I hated the Tyson one. I want to remember Tyson.
He watched the Usyk fight, right? He watched Usyk at home beating Dubois. Fight finished at home. He went for a run.
I love
that. At 10 p.m. across the water in Morecambe. He goes for a run because it's in him. It's like, mate, that's it. I'm missing out. I need to get fit.
I know.
Great watch.
I know. Okay, what have we got coming up? I'll tell you right now. Huge, massive game in the Championship. The second takes on 5th as Ipswich travel to Southampton, who, by the way, I thought were really impressive at the weekend. Live on talkSPORT, knowing a win will secure the return to the top flight for the first time, or beg your pardon, at the first time of Ask. I'm delighted to say we're joined by fans of both clubs, Alpha House from Total Saints podcast and Craig Finbo from Blue Monday podcast. Good morning, lads. How are we?
Good morning.
Morning, guys. Okay.
Great stuff, boys. Thanks for taking the time to join us this morning. Alfie, we'll start with you, my friend. The run that you've been on is nothing short of remarkable. I saw your team at the weekend. Boy, was I impressed.
Yeah, 20 games unbeaten. You know, unfortunately, it comes to an end at the hands of Man City. And I think when they scored in the 78th or 79th minute at Wembley, for a couple of minutes you did believe that they were going to do it. But I think even that late in the game is still too early against the Pep Guardiola team. And they did what they always do and turned it around. But they required 2 goals from outside the box, 1 deflection. You couldn't really lose in a much more valiant way. So I think they'd have taken a lot out of that game. I think the fans enjoyed it.
What about your side? I thought the two centre-backs defended heroically. I mean, you end up getting beat, well, not beaten, but they get back into the game, a kind of deflected goal. I thought your two centre-backs were outstanding. In the middle of the park, his name escapes me. What have I got? Okay, it's Casper Yander. That's the one. I thought he might have been in the room for man of the match, mate.
Well, I think he was man of the match. You know, Nico Gonzalez got the award by virtue of scoring a great goal. But Caspiander was unbelievable. And the turnaround from Caspiander, he's 22, 23 years old. There was a report in Germany in the summer that, or in the winter, sorry, that he wanted to leave the club and he was feeling a little bit homesick. But I think he was struggling with the amount of games in the English leagues compared to the Bundesliga too. But he's got that freshness and fitness back, and he looks incredible. And if someone does want him in the summer, it's going to cost him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Craig, how important is this game for Ipswich? Because you don't want to leave it to the last game of the season, even though you have QPR at home while playing for anything. You don't want a nervy last game of the season, do you?
No, we don't. But as you say, Gabby, we've got two swings at this. Is the way that Ipswich are seeing it, and hopefully, by definition of that, it means it will be hopefully could be a bit of a ding dong tonight, because there's nothing in it for either team to get a draw out of it. It'll be interesting to see how we play it. Do we sit in and let Southampton sort of go at it and go a bit gung-ho, and we can maybe pick them off? As Alfie says, they're on a hell of a run. 3 months ago, we were looking over our shoulder and thinking, they're a fair way away. And then 2 months, you look back and think, they're a little bit close. And then 1 month, you look back and think, they're on your shoulders now, sort of thing. And we've huffed and puffed, and we've been efficient rather than gung-ho. It's not scintillating football, but that might play into our hands this evening.
Craig, tell me, mate, I mean, you're absolutely right. I thought, a couple of months ago, Coventry had a little bit of a wobble. You guys were flying, all that kind of... What's the difference, Craig, do you think, between Coventry and the likes of yourselves, Millwall, Middlesbrough, Southampton, Wrexham, if you like? Have they just had a little bit more consistency over the period?
They have, and they also got off to a ridiculous start. I don't know what the facts were, but they were miles ahead after the first 2 or 3 months of the season, and that just gives you that buffer, gives you that cushion going into the hard yards over Christmas and the New Year, which is what sort of when we hit our stride. We didn't win in August. We didn't win our first game until the middle of September, so we were sort of playing catch up. And you say about Middlesbrough, we probably have, by virtue of them stumbling in the last month or two, like I was saying about Southampton picking up the results, they've really stumbled and fallen away by the wayside. The ones that haven't are probably Millwall. They've been the most consistent, and they're picking up results and under the radar, a bit like we were 2 years ago. Everyone was expecting Ipswich to fall away behind Southampton, Leeds and Leicester, and last week or two of the season, we're the ones that not crept in there, but we took advantage of other people stumbling.
Alfie, I want to go back to you. I'm going to go back again to the weekend, mate. I know you're looking forward to tonight, but I want to go back to the weekend. Talk me through that strike from Finn Azaz, mate. I'll tell you right now, I know Gonzalez was just raw power, but I mean, I loved the beauty of the strike from Finn Azaz. Starts outside the post, all the way curls in. Where were you in the stadium to see it, mate? We were right behind it, and it was amazing. Amazing strike.
Yeah, I was actually in the press box for that one, so I could see it from a side-on angle. But that's what Finn Azaz does. He's someone who divides opinion, Finn Azaz. Middlesbrough fans, when Southampton signed him, sent warnings of the player who was hot and cold. He'd go missing in games. And to be fair, he does go missing in the odd game, but he's got double figures in goals and assists in the last 2 championship seasons. He's well on course to get that this season. He's got a bit of quality. His manager has told me before that he does often play at a slightly different speed to the rest of his players because of how good he is. In the championship, he almost needs an even better striker who's actually on the same page as him. I think he could definitely play in the Premier League. There's no doubt about that. He's not quite got the physical intensity, but technically he's a top-level player.
Boys, Craig, Alfie, thanks for joining us.
Good luck, lads.
Wish both of you all the very, very best tonight. Hope it's a great game. It should be.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, lads. Enjoy, Craig.
You don't want to miss out, though, do you? If Ipswich, Ali. We've seen what happens. If you miss out on that top 2, and then you could play like, say Millwall picked them or Southampton. You've got Middlesbrough, Millwall, Southampton, Wrexham, Hull City and Derby still fighting.
Millwall are crying out for a draw tonight.
Oh.
They are crying out for a draw.
Millwall are probably thinking, their fans, we want to go up, but West Ham are coming down. Haven't played them for years.
Oh my goodness.
What time does that game kick off, by the way, if they play each other next season? That's got to be an 8 a.m. kickoff, hasn't it?
3 in the morning, I think. It's got to kick off at 3 in the morning.
8 a.m.
Well, tonight's game, as you know, is live on talkSPORT tonight with coverage starting from 7 p.m. Still to come in breakfast this morning, guys.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Manage your Travis Perkins trade account online at travisperkins.co.uk or via the Travis Perkins app.
Okay, now coming up, we're going to ask you the big question: is Burnley the perfect job for Steven Gerrard's return to management? Plus, the wait is finally over. We're joined by Matchroom CEO Frank Smith. Frank will be joining us to break down that massive news we gave you earlier, AJ versus Fury. That was a breakfast preview with our good friends at Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
But surely with players, Martin, conning referees with fake injuries and hence pausing games, there is a culture of distrust that's been sown by the very players.
Yeah, and with the goalies particularly, we saw that in the FA Cup yesterday. You know, it caused a mini riot with Leeds players going berserk when the Chelsea keeper goes down. So I just think they got it right. And I think Glazer's right. I don't want to be just seeing the game stop there because somebody's got an injury. You know, he got up. He tried to get to his feet. We could see that there was an issue, but it was in the same action. I don't think you can stop it for that.
Even if it's a goal, is there a difference here in that it's the goalkeeper?
But what does the rules say? These guys make the rules up as they go along. They've made the rules up as they go along, and they now think that the rules that they've made up are the ones that everyone's got to abide by. The fact is that players have somehow managed to coerce referees into believing that every time someone falls over and hurts themselves, that the game's got to be stopped. And there's this unwritten law on the field that's established by the players that if someone gets injured and they determine the game should be stopped, it should be stopped. That's not how it works. The referee referees the game. And there's no rule that says if a goalkeeper gets injured that subsequently he's subject to a different set of circumstances than somebody else.
No.
The only rule that's, as far as I'm aware, and I'm happy to be corrected, is...
And they sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Back page review on talkSPORT.
Indeed it is, just a back page review, and we're going to get not messing about at all. We're going to go straight to Olivia. Very good morning, Olivia. How are you?
Good morning, Olivia.
Morning,
Olivia.
Pundit of the Year, and I'm Gabby.
Yeah. and him next to you.
However your name is.
How are you? Good form?
I'm good. How was last night? Was it good?
Very good. Good wee night, yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Did the reasonable thing and did the intelligent thing, I would say, and had an early night.
Nice.
Straight back after
done,
it,
mate.
yeah.
Well done.
See, I just said that's the beauty of it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, you know.
It keeps you disciplined.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Spot on, mate.
Right, as you can imagine, all of the back pages. United are bees knees after their result yesterday. Bru's big assister act, obviously one away from the all-time Premier League record for assists in a single season. And Casemiro.
Yeah.
Very good. To the back page of the Sun after 4 in 6 now.
Yep.
Goals for Casemiro, obviously leaving at the end of the season.
Yep.
And what a way
How good is he?
Casemiro.
Timing his runs, mate. You should have
Very
walked out my
good.
mouth.
Mm.
Timing his runs into the box, headers.
Just there, isn't it?
Different class.
Yes, very good header.
Times it really well.
Yes.
I wonder who they're going to replace him with in the summer, because they obviously are, and I wonder how big of a part he'll play in Brazil's bid to win the World Cup in the summer. Also on the back page is the back page of the Mirror. Iraola's in the frame for the Bridge, very similar on the Star. The Blues want Iraola.
Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, on the back page of the Sun. Well, on the back page of the Sun, it's Blues Eye Xabi. So it's the sort of short list is Iraola. It seems like at the moment Iraola, Marco Silva, and Xabi Alonso. Cesc Fabregas' name has been floated about. Felipe Luis for the job.
I like all of them.
Flamengo. Iraola, the only thing is, I was saying on Early Breakfast that we had Semenyo on a podcast I did the other day, and he was saying Iraola is just running. When he first came in, it was like no days off running. And Semenyo was like, I didn't see like into the future to see what he was going to. They said they just weren't enjoying it at the start. They were just like, oh God.
Run.
So I wonder, I can't quite work out the route that Chelsea are going, because it does feel like Iraola's probably, are they experienced managers? Like Xabi Alonso's not,
by the way,
Fabregas isn't.
I need to inform you. That's the one thing that Chelsea haven't been doing.
Maybe they need it.
Run.
Do you know who I would get?
Do you know every team? Apart from the weekend.
Yeah.
Every team's outrun them.
Yep. Maybe they need that, but
maybe.
I look at Marco Silva, and I just look at him and I'm like, he's gonna have all ears. Any of you will try saying a word back, he's on you.
Yeah.
I like him. He's aggressive on the sideline like Unai Emery.
Who would you go for? Right, if you're looking
Marco
for the Chelsea,
Silva,
you'd think of. What about you, Ali?
I think Xabi Alonso.
Do you? But isn't that another inexperienced manager that we've seen fail at Chelsea a couple of times recently? Is it another risk? Is it another huge risk?
They're all a risk.
Yeah.
I mean, there's none of them not a risk.
Yeah.
But I just think progressive, forward thinking. I like him. I like him. I mean, do you know what it's like, Olivia? You can't argue with either three. I mean, really,
all of them.
it's like getting offered 3 presents, but you can only pick one. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think really, but no. Who would you take first?
I mean, I'd love the idea of Cesc Fabregas, but I think the job he's done at Como has been brilliant. But I think he will probably stay there.
Have they guaranteed Champions League football?
No, not yet. No.
I know they won 2-0 at the weekend, but
they're not yet.
He's done an amazing job as a first season, brilliant. But I think just because of the ties to Chelsea, I've got a little bit more of an affiliation with him. But I mean, I'd like the job Iraola's done at Bournemouth. Obviously, has been brilliant. My only thing is that they would go on like a long 10-game winless run at Bournemouth, and that. You can't get away with that at Chelsea.
Whoever goes in, though, has to go in there and literally sort out all
Take control.
Yeah, controls, all these little... I can't even swear on here, sorry, but the people like Cucurella, like Enzo Fernandez coming out in the media and doing interviews. He's got to stop all that. He's got to stop the big-time Charlies who throw their arms up when they have to come off. Cole Palmer is in that as well. So all these players...
Bit of authority.
Yeah,
bit of authority.
Well... It's like an old school manager. Yeah. Just go in and take control.
Get Antonio Conte in there. Antonio Conte will sort them out.
Just take control.
Take them running around Hyde Park for 7 hours.
I also, just finally, I want to get your thoughts, Gabby. There's a article on the back page of The Telegraph by friend of the show, Dom King.
Yes.
Dozy Grealish, only guilty of stupidity in latest act. Obviously, I'm sure you will have seen it now, the pictures of Jack Grealish sort of like slumped over in his seat at a very, very popular rooftop bar in Manchester. Just, Gabby, initially your thoughts when you saw that picture?
My first thoughts was, I've been in that situation, and it just shows the sort of people that are out there.
Around him.
That, like, are taking pictures. and what they're doing with the pictures. Do you know what I mean? It happened to me quite a few times, and you're just like, come on. Do you know what I mean? You've got no better to do with your life than taking pictures and this and that. Listen, he's been through a lot. He's been through a season-ending injury. He's doing his rehab. I've seen his what he's been doing in his rehab. He's working hard to get back. I think he's back available to train in July. He said to me the other day, listen, he won't be happy that those pictures have come out, but I'm sure when he's at training, when he's there doing his rehab, he's doing everything right. But it just sums up this world we live in now. People want to take pictures and send them off, and honestly,
might just be the worst invention on the planet. The camera phone. I'm telling you right now, scandalous. For the boy, I think of the boys now. Listen, it's not a good look. Of course, it's not a good look. Let's not kid ourselves on, right? But at the same time, what happened to a bit of privacy? You know what I mean?
He is, but he's going to the most Listen, there's plenty of places you could go as a professional footballer with the access that you have to like I understand obviously you wanted to go to a popular spot. It's a really lovely place
it's not
up there.
A good look, and
but you have to understand that with that comes people that are going to be like, that's Jack Grealish.
But also, people do moan that all these footballers they'll rent out a bar and no one can go in it because they've got all this money now. But then a footballer comes out and goes to a place where the people are. And they take advantage of taking pictures because that's what footballers do now. They're earning that much money, Ali. They will rent out a restaurant.
I know.
They will pay like tens of thousands of pounds to rent somewhere out, and then they've got their own people there, and there's no phones. Footballers will do that now. It's a different generation, so can't win, can you?
You can't win. The only thing would you not want your friends there once you get into a situation like that? Just remove him from the situation.
Yeah, but they probably are there.
I suppose they're probably all very.
You don't know. You don't know. Listen, not a good look. I just hope the wee man's fit and off and running at the start of the season. That's what
hopefully.
Brilliant, Albert. Okay, thank you very much. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. Just coming up 7 o'clock.
Everyone seems to be talking about Chelsea's time wasting. So talkSPORT's Alex Crook asked Daniel Farke about it. Here's what he had to say.
A lot of your fans on social media seem to be unhappy with some of Chelsea's dark arts, should I say, today. Bit of time wasting going on. There was an incident, I think, where even Ampadu got himself in the middle of Chelsea's huddle when Sanchez was allegedly down injured. What did you make of all that?
No comments from my side after a loss. I want to show some class, and I would have spoken about this after, if you would have won the game. So I spoke about this topic a few times during the season. You know my feelings anyway, what I think about the goalkeeper going down. But after a loss, I don't speak about it and want to show some class.
Fair play to Daniel Farke. This only ever seems to be a problem once Chelsea do it. I have watched so many teams do it against Chelsea this season that I'm happy that Chelsea saved their time to do it for a very, very big game in an FA Cup semi-final. If people have an issue with this, they should have had an issue with it way before this game because it happens all the time. This is a football issue. But my thing is,
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pitodry on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Okay, 3 minutes past 7. It is Tuesday, the 28th of April. Beautiful morning down here in London. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Shop the upgrade event today. I get an extra £500 when you part exchange your car. Don't miss your chance to boost your valuation. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Here's what we've got coming up. Anthony Joshua's finally signed a deal to fight Tyson Fury. Brilliant. We've got all the details from Chief Executive Matchroom Boxing, Frank Smith. Frank will be joining us very, very shortly. We'll also talk to Manchester United with Dwight Yorke, about Manchester United, beg your pardon, with Dwight Yorke, who won 5 major trophies at the club. Do United simply have to give Carrick the job? I think it's pretty straightforward. Yes. And Paul Wright, also known as The Big Show, will be right here in the studio ahead of All Elite Wrestling's London takeover. But now, it was another great night for Michael Carrick, as his Old Trafford edition gets better and better.
Manchester United want to edge closer to the Champions League. Brentford still have hopes of Europe. Kobbie Mainoo picks up the ball, charges forward, moves into the box. Lovely little bit of skill, tries to finish it, slides it to Ahmed.
He's missed it.
How has he missed it? It's a free header from Maguire, who lolls it back to the ball to far post, and Casemiro rises highest and heads it home.
And United are deservedly in front after a quite remarkable first 10-11 minutes.
It's now Damsgaard on the left, weaving a ball into the centre, looking for Thiago. Oh, what a save by Lovett.
That's 3 goals he could have had in, say, 2 minutes.
The charge is being led by Fernandes. He's got Infermo to his right. He's got Šeško to his left. He comes in field and he slams it home.
And how often do we see Bruno Fernandes pick a pass like that?
One more to equal the all-time single-season record of 20 held by Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. And 29 points from 39 available in 13 matches is actually the highest in the division in the current period.
Let's just hope they can get into that Champions League where everybody wants to see them.
Jensen from shooting from the edge of the area, and he fires it past Lommans.
Game on.
And the Champions League beckons for Michael Carrick and Manchester United. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1.
What a run. Absolutely different class. That's correct. Carrick has won 9 of his 13 games, and Charles taken 29 points. Carrick took over the club in 7th and 11 points behind third place Villa. At that particular time, United are now 3rd and 3 points ahead of the Villa. Former Manchester United assistant manager, beg your pardon, Ronnie Millenstein, joined the show yesterday morning and claimed this if Carrick had taken over earlier.
If Michael Carrick would have taken over but far sooner, United would have been in the title race. 100%. They would have been thereabouts, because you know what it does to a team when you're getting close and when you're chasing, the leaders, and you get big wins like they have done against Man City and against Chelsea the other week. So I would imagine that they would be talking about, listen, if it would be you, Michael, what kind of person, what kind of player would you like to add to this current squad? Because obviously we all know that Casemiro is leaving, so that is definitely a position that needs to be filled.
Is that a fair point? 9 points off City at the moment.
It doesn't always work like that.
No, I know, I get it.
Yeah, that's like saying, okay, if Michael Carrick started the season, Manchester United would have won the league. Like, no, I still think like their squad probably isn't good enough. Yes, they might have had more points than they've got now, but I don't think you can look at it.
I tend to agree with you. I think the improvement with Carrick, under Carrick, has been fabulous. It's been fantastic. I clearly think the number of games that they're not playing has helped them.
Do you think, though, that Manchester United might look at it and say, yes, Carrick, but Iriola's available? Could Marco Silva hasn't signed a contract? Are they looking at those managers as well and saying, like,
they've got to, but they're not.
Why did we miss out on him? And
Gab, they're not doing their job if they don't assess every available opportunity. But I'll get back to what I said a couple of weeks ago, mate. I'm looking at that league table just now, and they're sitting 3rd, comfortable 3rd.
Yes.
And I just say to myself, if they don't give them the job and they give it to somebody else,
it goes wrong.
And it goes wrong, I just think they'll leave themselves unbelievably wide open to criticism.
But what if they give it him and we're October, November, and they're struggling in the Champions League or they're struggling in the league, and they're like, look, Marco Silva signed a new deal with Fulham.
That's a gamble.
And Iriola's gone to Chelsea. And Xavi Alonso has gone to... maybe that's what I'm thinking.
That's a gamble. But the one thing we can't argue about, it's not for debate, is the improvement in them. And he's done a lot of things. The first thing he's done, Gab, is effectively just play players in the position that they're accustomed to.
It's not difficult, is it, Ali? No. Mainu last night, driving through midfield. First half, he went on this run, Ali. Literally flicked it behind him, and then Diallo shot, and I don't know how the defender blocked it on the line, but he was immense last night. It's got him playing well again.
I thought it was excellent.
If the old manager stayed,
excellent at Chelsea,
Manchester United would have sold Mainu.
Yeah, I know.
For probably
isn't it?
Small amount of money as well.
Isn't it remarkable? It's only on the talkSPORT Daily podcast this morning. Alex Crook says it's a matter of time until Carrick gets the job. Now, will he have the control he wanted? Delighted to see his son's Manchester United correspondent Sam Luckhurst joins us now. Very good morning, Sam. How are you?
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Gabby. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure. Great to see you, mate. Thanks. Well, there's one for you, Sam. Gabby and I think he should get it. He's earned it. I've said one of the reasons for it, I think, if he doesn't get it and the next person comes in is not a success, they'll leave themselves wide open to criticism. But he's done enough, hasn't he, if they qualify for the Champions League?
It's looking that way. There's nothing concrete that's come out about United really being a long way down the line with an external candidate, and that's testament to the job that Carrick's done with 9 wins from 13 games. I mean, the way to scrutinise it is that the performances haven't really been there for 2.5 months, you would say, since that winning run at the start ended. But there's a lot to be said for winning whilst not performing, and when they have lost games, which there haven't been many of them, they've only been 2 occasions, they've then won the next game. So he's got a hell of a lot stacked in his favour. He's a very compliant colleague. He doesn't rock the boat either in press conferences, which must go a long way with the hierarchy after 15 months of Ruben Amorim, who, of course, was great for us journalists, but for Manchester United's decision makers, probably not so much. And the reason why he was sacked in the end was because of what he said in the press conference. So although the results weren't great and the form was pretty iffy, it ultimately it came down to him with what he said in that post-match press conference at Leeds, and that was just one outburst too many.
Sam, how important is it that Manchester United get their recruitment right again? Last summer they got it spot on, Premier League experience. If they get it right this summer, I mean, next season they can be fighting for the title, can't they? And they can go far in the Champions League.
I agree with that. I mean, Harry Maguire, when we spoke to him in Ireland, he was talking up a title challenge if they get the recruitment right for the starting 11. He said, and the squad, they're going to need a bigger squad next season because they're going to be back in Europe. They're going to be far more games. They've only had, I think they'll have had 40 games by the end of this season. You look at that performance last night, it's actually quite a good gauge of where United are at, because their best spell in the game was the first 11 minutes. They stopped playing after they scored. It was a big compliment to Brentford that Carrick felt the need to switch to a back three in that second half, and they were clinging on the end. Brentford are no mugs. They've had Keith Andrews done an excellent job there this season. But looking at that team, the midfield, it's not stable enough. Defensively, there need to be improvements. I think particularly at fullback, I don't really see them being credible title challengers with Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw as the starting fullbacks throughout the season. And they need a little bit more depth in attack, where Joshua Zirkzee is just not up for it. And they are going to need someone to support Benjamin Sesko more next season.
I was going to say, Sam, looking at it, Gabby and I obviously mentioned the first thing that Michael Carrick did when he came in. He just kind of played players in a position that they're accustomed to. I want to talk to you about the middle of that park. I mean, Mainu, I thought, saw him at Chelsea. I didn't see, I only saw the highlights of last night's game, mate. I thought he was different class at Stamford Bridge. Bruno, absolutely outstanding this season. Must have come in, I agree with Michael, must come into the conversation for the Player of the Year. But another man that Gabby and I were speaking about just at 6 o'clock, Casemiro, mate. The timing of his runs, he's a brilliant header of the ball. And it takes a bit of replacing those goals as well, which they're going to have to do.
He's got 9 goals now this season. 8 of them have been headers, and in this era where there's a big, there's such a huge emphasis on set pieces, that has been invaluable. I mean, having watched him this season, the quirk of it is that for a defensive midfielder, he's probably looked more in his element in the attacking third, just through that goal getting. He has had a very good season at United. His 4 years at United will have been bookended by 2 good seasons where he's helped them to get into the Champions League. Let's face facts, they've not got bang for their buck, agreeing a £70 million deal with Real Madrid 4 years ago and the salary that he's been on. But he has had some pretty major setbacks there, where not being in the team for the FA Cup final, as Amram said rather amusingly for us a few times, he was behind Toby Collier in the midfield pecking order. You go back to the third game of last season against Liverpool when he was substituted at half time. So he has had some pretty major setbacks, even for a guy as experienced and successful as he has been. And he still had that drive and determination to try and help United to get over the line and essentially achieve their objective in the league this season. So I don't think it will be a huge issue for them to replace him, because it's not just going to be a like-for-like player. Whoever comes in has got to be more mobile, more athletic, just because of the age difference where he's 34. But in terms of the presence and the sheer command that he respects, they're almost certainly not going to get someone in that vein.
Sam, brilliant. Thanks very much for your time this morning, mate. Have a good day.
Thanks, gents.
Take care. We're going to head to the phone lines and get the perspective of a United fan right now. Somebody to dial 03717 222 and that is Callum. Callum, very good morning, mate. How are you?
Good morning, Callum.
Morning, lads. Morning. Pleasure to speak to you.
Lovely for coming on. Really appreciate you coming on, Callum. Is it as straightforward? Should they give him a job?
100%, mate. 100%. Yeah. Listen, if I went for a job in a pub that was struggling, and they said, you've done really well, but next season or the next night, you've got to sell 100 more pints. If I turn around and say, all right, but I need 100 more glasses, I can do it. They've got to back him. They've got to back him with transfers.
Callum, do you agree that it should be a short-term deal and see how he does with clauses in it?
Listen, I think he's perfect for the job. If you give him 2 or 3 years, put as many clauses in it as you want.
Yeah.
They've got to back him financially, allow him to make decisions.
Yes.
We come off the back of a really poor Amorim coming in with his philosophies and things like that, finishing in a terrible position last year. He's turned it around since he's come in. He's gone back to the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1, however you want to go. You know, he knows the club. He knows where he want to go back to the roots, back to how United play, and it's worked. So just give him the job and back him financially and let him make decisions.
Do you know what I think, Callum? You mentioned Beckham. I think that's one of the differences in United recently, mate. I think that the signings look comfortable in a United strip playing at Old Trafford, and I think that's a massive thing, mate.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and how many managers have we had in the last 10 years that haven't actually wanted players we've signed and therefore can't bring them into the team, can't bring them into their philosophy and way of playing? You have to we've got to replace Casemiro. Champions League next year, we cannot go in the Champions League next year, and obviously Premier League and other cups as well, with the likes of Lacey, Dorgu, Maresca, Mount, and Xerxes.
I think centre halves as well, don't you? Like Maguire's been very good, but Martinez has been injury prone, hasn't he? As also Delit. You probably need a couple of top centre halves, don't you?
Top centre halves, replace Casemiro. Sesko needs help as well, because Xerxes not somebody you can bring on with a bit of firepower in the 90th minute or the 80th minute of a Champions League match midweek. You know, got to get the job, clauses as many as you want, back him, squad depth, and I think we can go as far as we can go.
Brilliant, Callum. Thanks for your time this morning. Have a good day, pal. Now, coming up, finally, it has been announced. We will be seeing AJ versus Fury. We are looking forward very much to that. What's the bigger gut punch, do you think? Callum Wilson's last-minute winner for West Ham, or Xavi Simons and a season-ending injury when he was a player who looked like he was capable of doing things for them?
I think the loss of the player. I mean, what West Ham do, they can't control. It's not within their remit. It's not within their gift. Of course, it's going to be a potential choker if they were sitting at home watching the game, but they were playing at the same time. So it wasn't visible to them till after they've achieved what they wanted to achieve, which was get their first win on the board. They have to focus on what they can do rather than what the opposition are doing. They have an opportunity. Villa are playing on Thursday in a European Cup semi-final against Nottingham Forest, which is going to be a battle. So they're likely to be leggy on the Sunday, so it gives Spurs an opportunity. And so they've got to focus on what they're doing. But West Ham digging that goal out in the last minute will have changed the whole dynamic again, because Spurs would have been out of the bottom three, West Ham would have been in the bottom three, and the whole scenario would have been slightly different.
Yeah.
But it creates fascinating outcomes for both clubs. Spurs have got their win. They had to work for it. It wasn't a great game. They beat a poor side. But I think they'll get some momentum from it. The goalkeeper, this is the goalkeeper that everyone said was buried, right? This is the goalkeeper that's never going to recover.
Really good save at the end.
Never going to recover. His career's been ruined. Everyone go out and give him a big hug. You know, saves him in the last minute. And they just people talk nonsense.
He showed resilience.
There
you go.
Simons, I do feel sorry for him, Jim. Tudor didn't really understand the player he had in the building. I thought Thomas Frank, in the end, was getting the best from him. He's so...
They sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Okay, 7:20. It is Tuesday, the 28th of April. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Great news. Great news. The Battle of Britain between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury is finally signed on a dotted line for a massive showdown. Bring it on. Yes, the two-time heavyweight world champion signed a two-bout deal with the opener set for November. Before the big one, AJ returns to the ring in Saudi Arabia, and that's on July the 25th, I think it is, and he's taking Albania's Christian Prenga. Now, joining us now to break down the biggest deal in British boxing history is Matchroom CEO Frank Smith. Frank, a very, very good morning to you. Thank you for taking the time to join us. How are you?
I'm very good. It's the afternoon now. I'm in Melbourne, so it's.
What a city, Frank! By the way, one of my favourites. I'm telling you right now, I was there in 1984. First time I was there, 1984 with Glasgow Rangers, and I nearly never came back to Glasgow, Frank. That's what I think of Melbourne.
Frank wasn't born then.
I'm contemplating not coming back.
What a city. Well, you've got to come back, because this fight, we're thrilled about it. You know, all the pros and cons. You can argue with boys want to see it. Everybody's want to see it 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, whatever it may be. But the fact of the matter is now we've got it, and we're really looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, look, it's happening. It's finally happening. It's the biggest fight, not just in Britain, but one of the biggest fights in the world as well. You know, these two heavyweights coming together. It's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of talking. But we're finally there. And I always knew the day would come. It was just a case of when, and it's going to be 2026, and we can't wait.
Frank, when are you thinking in the? Is it November? I'm thinking the fight is, and what venue, mate?
It's obviously a Saudi-led show. They'll make the decision on the venue, but they're working through that now. That process. AJ's got his first fight on July 25th in Riyadh, and as soon as there's more news on it, I'm sure they'll release it. But the key is it's done and it's signed and sealed, which is what everyone's always wanted.
Honestly, I can't wait, mate. And some people try and moan about it, that, you know, they're not at their peak now, but the whole country will stop, mate, when this fight happens. Do you think as well, Frank, we could see more than one fight between AJ and Fury?
I think anything's possible. You know, it's a fight that's been spoken about so much. The back and forth is going to be interesting in the build-up between all the different parties involved. You know, I think, for me, I believe AJ wins. I've always believed he wins. And I think from there, he goes on to go into, you know, he puts himself, he's already the biggest commercial star, or up there, one of the biggest commercial stars in the sport, but sets himself up for the biggest fight. So I'm not going to say no to further fights, but I'm just glad we're getting one at least.
But Frank, most importantly, and I know you're very close with AJ, how is he mentally after what he's been through? Because that's the biggest thing, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think, as I've said in multiple interviews, it's hard being in the public eye. You know, someone like him, everyone wants to know what's going on with you, and you have to go through a process, but ultimately everything's in the public. I think the key has been getting him back boxing. It's his love, it's his passion. It's what he's done for the last, 17, 18 years of his life. And I think especially getting in with Team Usyk and having those people around him has been key for him off the back of what he's been through. You know, no one's ever going to know what he's been through or what he's going through. But I think having spoken to him, you know, in the place he's at with his head, he's in a great place with a great team behind him, and that's good to see.
Well, it's great news, that, obviously, Frank. I'm looking at it. Obviously, the change in boxing has been absolutely incredible. You talk about Netflix and obviously the Saudi interest. But, Frank, could you imagine that fight at Wembley? Come on, give it to the boys at Wembley. That's what I'm saying to you.
I know. But it's huge. I mean, the key is, as well, is trying to find a date that fits for those venues like Wembley. Wembley's a busy place. There's amazing stadium all across the UK. Wembley would be spectacular. You know, it would be spectacular. We've seen some of the best nights in the sport there over the years. And you know, it will be a massive occasion if it goes to Wembley.
It'll certainly be massive. I mean, I go a long way back with the boxing. I can't think anything that springs to mind, certainly in the heavyweight division, that they would get the interest of the British public, mate. It's absolutely gigantic.
For sure. You know, look, people say, is it, like you said, some people will say, is it, too late? But the reality is the whole country will stand still when this event takes place, and everyone's got their favourite. Some people love Tyson Fury. A lot of people love Anthony Joshua, and everyone's going to be watching. All age groups are going to be tuning in on that night when it finally takes place. And, I think the whole build up to this point makes it even bigger.
Frank, I can't lie, mate. I love the trash talk before The gloves are off. I love the Tyson Fury's built for it, isn't he? You know what he's going to call AJ, the names you'll call him to try and wind him up. But that's a big part of the fight being so big as well. But I wanted to ask you quickly, mate, before we have to let you go. Another one of your superstar fighters I've been really impressed with, Ben Whittaker.
Yeah.
How big is his future, mate? Because he's in fantastic form, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I think he can be a superstar of the sport. We're actually announcing his next fight later today. Activity has always been the key since we signed him. He's going to have had 3 fights in 7 months. And I believe he can become a unified world champion. We've just got to build him at the right pace. When you look at the names out there, he has all the star power to become a global superstar. And that's why we were so excited to get him. And we made a big play to sign him.
Frank, just to warn you, ahead of your trip in Melbourne, there was a club back in the day called the TalkH, TOKH. It was one of the best in the business, mate. Avoid it at all costs, mate.
I've struggled to stay up past 8 o'clock since I've been here, to be honest, mate. I'm not as fun as people may think.
Frank, listen, we really appreciate you taking time to join us. We're looking forward to it. Have a good trip.
See you later.
All the best. Well, I'm looking forward to it already. I mean,
it's just... Ali,
and do you know something? I'll change my mind who I think.
Oh yes, yes.
Every month.
I think as well we've got to see how AJ is in his next fight, and then you'll change your mind after that. But I just love Tyson Fury with his trash talk. It's going to be hilarious.
I know,
because he called him out, didn't he, after his last fight, and AJ wasn't really responding to it.
He wasn't biting us all, was he?
What he's going to say? You know what he said in the past about AJ? Look at you having your muscles. Come and give me a kiss. All the banter will be going, and I think that gloves are off will be hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it. But I think they'll fight more than once. Like I said earlier about Tyson Fury, he's got that itch to want to keep boxing. If it's a tight fight as well.
Yeah, but I know and I get it's all about the finances, as it mentioned, Netflix and Saudi and all that stuff. But imagine that fight at Wembley.
What?
It'd be brilliant.
Should be.
I mean, you're selling it out 2 times over.
I don't think they'll be able to have it at the Spurs Stadium because they'll be playing in maybe the Championship.
Now, out of order.
They might have games during
out of order.
November.
CEO of Matchroom Boxing, Frank Smith, with us. They're coming up. What a run Newcastle. I'm going to read discussion about that next.
I've never seen a bigger bum in my life.
talkSPORT's Alex Crook has got some information about Enzo Maresca.
Yeah, I think the vibe coming out of the Northwest for some time now has been that Pep Guardiola is more likely to depart than to stay at the end of the season. Whether winning the Premier League title will influence that decision one way or another remains to be seen, but it does seem like the direction of travel is this is going to be the last few weeks of Pep Guardiola's tenure, despite the fact he's got another year left on his contract. There was always a suspicion, I think, from Chelsea that when Enzo Maresca left the club on New Year's Day, his next port of call would be Manchester City. talkSPORT understands Maresca very much the front runner. Should, as expected, Pep Guardiola step down at the end of his trophy-laden tenure at the end of the season. There has been some suggestions that maybe there's still some contractual issues with Chelsea. We're being told by sources close to Maresca that he is free to take another job as soon as this summer. And I've been told by more than one source that high-level talks between Manchester City, their sporting director Hugo Viana, and Maresca have been taking place. Now that's...
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931, when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy, and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
Is that Matt Ford? It's got to be. I'm looking at Ed. You know, Summit does a brilliant. He does a brilliant.
Oh, he's
job.
unbelievable.
Great, isn't it? Fantastic. What we've got, 7:33, Tuesday the 28th of April, my pal. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan, plus get an extra £500 when you part exchange. Shop the upgrade event today. Ally and Gabby with you this morning now. 03717223344. That is the number to call to get your opinion on anything at all, anything football, boxing, anything you want to go off your chest. Give us a call. Gabby and I are very excited about this Fury AJ fight, but as everyone, I'm not so sure. Ian's a West Ham fan and he wants to have his say. It's a very good morning. Ian, how are you?
Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Gabby. Good, thanks. Yeah, how are you?
We're in top form, Ian. Thanks very much for joining us. The fight that Gabby and I are looking forward to. Are you looking forward to it yourself?
No, not at all. Don't get me wrong, I'll watch it, but you've come on today, and I understand you're in the media. You've come on today and announced it's the biggest fight in boxing, with the caveat of probably 8 to 10 years past when it should have been. And you're absolutely right. Now, if this fight was when both of these guys were on the up, or towards the top, or at the top, then yeah, it would have been the biggest fight in boxing. But as a boxing purist, this now is. These are two guys who have been marketing dreams. They've had their career path mapped out for them, brilliantly. But ultimately, they've been found out by a brilliant cruiserweight who's probably one of the pound-for-pound greats. It's been proved that this era wasn't the hype job that we all thought it was when they're on the way up. And ultimately, this is two British heavyweights, which is why it's a marketing dream over here. And I understand the clamour for the division. But when there are people out there like Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, absolute quality boxers and technicians, yes, at a lower weight, but that would be the biggest fight. Even Beterbiev and Bivol, when those two fought, the standard of boxing,
but Ian,
there's better out there.
I get what you're saying, but say in 15 years' time, everyone's going to still be talking about who won
AJ and Fury. So they had to fight at some point.
Yeah, they did, but don't you think it's a little bit of an insult to the public that we're going to find out who was better, and then we're going to have the old, but they were in their late 30s, and they were past their best, and if they'd have fought at this point, you even see it. If you look at Joe Calzaghe's career, we have to listen to the Americans turn around and say, oh, he fought Hopkins when he was past his best, he fought Jones when he was past his best.
Yes.
But Joe was only 2 years younger than them, and we have to defend that on social media. And if you read social media comments about these two fighting, actually, for the armchair fan, fine, but for actual people who want to watch boxing, there'd probably be better fights on the undercard.
It's amazing that. I think you make some really, really valid points, mate. As it happens, I thought Joe Calzaghe is one of the best we've ever produced.
Me too.
That's my Toppinsworth, and I thought his performance against Left Hook Lacey, man. I watch it every now and again. It was just unbelievable. But Ian, you're right. You mentioned an insult to the public. I do take your point, but I think the biggest insult to the public is Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And again, that's, I didn't want to say, this is, we called it the biggest fight. Well, if you're going to go down that route, you'd argue that those fights that Jake Paul are putting on, I can't stand the guy, but he's right in what he's saying. They are bigger. He does get more followers. He does have more media. So when we talk about the biggest, we have to be careful in terms of what we're talking about, because Jake Paul can put on a bigger fight than Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. That doesn't mean it's good for boxing. It doesn't mean it's good boxing. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Ian, just a quick one. Are the Irons staying up?
Oh, don't. I said if we didn't beat Palace, I thought we would go down. I didn't expect us, Spurs and Forest, to all win at the weekend. I've suffered 3 relegations, so I'm kind of, I don't know. Who knows? Don't do that to me.
I don't know.
Ian, I've got to say, I was looking for a bit more confidence in that, to be honest.
We've been down with 42 points before, and that's always in the back of your mind when we got relegated on 42 points with a much better squad. And I think Nuno's doing a great job with what we've got there. We look resilient at the back. We look far more likely to be difficult to beat, and they're things that you need in a relegation fight. So that's my optimism.
I, for all it's worth, mate, I think you're all right. And you get good in the forward areas. You talk about Somerville and obviously Bowen on the other side. But what about the turnaround in Mavropanos?
I know.
It's unbelievable. I think it goes to show what a bit of confidence. And this is where we don't talk enough about your sort of man management skills these days. Your old sort of Harry Redknapp, who needs a rocket and who needs cotton wool. Because the man management that, and I wasn't Nuno in. I wasn't particularly a fan of his in the early part, but I have to give him his credit and say he's got sell side. He's got players that didn't look like they were worthy of wearing the shirt, and he seems to be getting the absolute best out of them. And if we survive, then that'll be amazing.
Ian, you're in danger of putting this show, ruining the reputation of this show. A good call, mate. That was brilliant. Thanks very much for your time.
Take care, guys.
All the best. Now, Eddie Howe's Newcastle in the real rot, having lost 5 successive games in all comps and losing 9 out of the last 12 in the league. Howe is, of course, becoming under real pressure, and former Magpie boss Alan Pardew was speaking yesterday, and he was sympathising with the current manager.
On the back of the season they're having, I mean, they're currently 14th. With 4 defeats, it's a tough run for him. And as I said to you before, the media, I know that media pack up there, they will lean to the fans. Wherever the fans are leaning, and I think they're leaning to we need a change, that's where the media will go. They won't give a counter argument or talk about Eddie being brilliant, etc., etc. It'll be like, oh, it's time to go. So he's got that to part with as well. I fear for him, but I personally, I hope he stays. I think he's done a terrific job.
I agree with that. We're talking about the media. We're going to join a man now who knows the media very, very well. Up in the North East, it's a Northern football writer at the Telegraph. It's Luke Edwards. Luke, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Luke. Good morning. Congratulations on your award last night, Ally.
Look, that's very, very kind of you. Much appreciated. Now, look, I want to ask you, mate. I understand. We all know the business. We all know that it's a results-driven business. And we also know the feeling towards Eddie from the people of Newcastle, right? Which he's been fantastic. Mm-hmm. But what is the general feeling in terms of the job? Did a lot of the punters feel it's time for a change? And indeed, maybe the most important question, look, I'm going to ask you, does Eddie perhaps think it's time for a change?
I think the fan base is split. I mean, Alan Pardew was, well, there's a famous incident. I think he was booed so much in a final home game of the season against Cardiff that he had to hide in his dugout and he couldn't come out onto the touchline. But he actually survived that. There isn't anywhere like that. The people talk about toxicity. There hasn't been that inside the stadium. There haven't been Eddie Howe out chants or you're getting sacked in the morning or anything like that. I think there is a split. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of disappointment in how this season has gone. Certainly online, as tends to be the case in the modern world, there's a lot of noise, a lot of chatter, a lot of people saying he wants to go. But I think when you actually have conversations with the rank and file supporters outside of social media, there's still a lot of goodwill towards him. And I think you're looking at a split between those who think it's time for a change in manager because of the miserable run they're on. But there's a good number of people, I would have said probably around 60% of people, if I pluck a figure out the air, who actually will think he's done enough over the last 4 years to be given a chance to lead the rebuild in the summer. And it is a massive rebuild. Yeah. And I think the club are aware of that. There's a board meeting this week at Matford Hall with the chairman, Yasser Al-Rumayyan, will be in attendance. And I think we'll know more then. But I still think it's far more likely that Eddie Howe stays as manager of Newcastle next season than leaves.
Luke, I know Spurs and West Ham probably won't get to 42 points, but, I mean, they can be caught, Newcastle. I'm looking at their games to come. You know, they host Brighton, Forest away, West Ham at home, Fulham away. Mm-hmm. Not easy games, and I see a few Newcastle fans on social media saying, like, we are not safe, and mathematically they're not. How important is that next game against Brighton?
Yeah, I think it's good for all the reasons you've just said, Gabby. It's important just to make sure that mathematically they are safe from relegation, obviously. But I think it's important for Eddie Howe, and I think the supporters inside the stadium need to see something positive to cling on to so that they can defend Eddie Howe. They were better against Arsenal. That was actually a much improved performance, and I thought that they really deserved something from the game. But they've got to build on that, and they've got to show that their home form under Howe has been brilliant right up until this season, but it's fallen off a cliff this year in particular. So they need to show, they just need to show that they're a team that can still win football matches, they can still play good football, can still entertain their fans, and that's so important. I think on Saturday, I think if they lose on Saturday, it just cranks up the pressure on. You'll have some wavering voters. You'll have some people out there who think maybe it is time for change, but I want to back them. If they lose again at home, you'll lose a big chunk of those fans as well.
That's a fair point. Look, I want to ask you, mate, and you mentioned this. The Saudi contingent are in town. What's been happening recently, particularly with Live Golf and things like that, and, pulling money out here, left, right and centre. Are there any concerns up there?
Well, about 2 weeks ago when the Live Golf stuff came sort of filtered into the public consciousness, there was a bit of concern. A lot of the journalists up here sort of were scrambling, trying to get in touch with PIF. I spent a good sort of 48 hours working on it, and all the sort of reassurances were given. I think you have to look at Live Golf as a massive loss maker for them. I mean, they're losing millions and millions of pounds. I think they've put in about 800 million in total to Newcastle, and I think the sort of message that came back is, yes, it's about money. For PIF, of course it is, but you also have to think of the prestige and the influence that owning a Premier League football club brings them. And I think that's the way they look at it. It's a completely different type of investment to Live Golf, which is a huge money loss maker, really. So I think they are committed. I think what we're going to see after this board meeting, as I understand it, is we are going to see some sort of confirmation of the new training ground that's going to be built by Newcastle Airport. That's obviously a huge infrastructure project, about £250 million. And I think also we're going to get a decision on the new stadium, whether they're going to expand St James's Park, or as we all sort of suspect that they're going to try and build a new stadium on Leazes Park adjacent to it, new 65,000 plus capacity stadium. I think if we get those announcements before the end of the year, we want actions, not words anymore. Yes. It's all very good people sort of briefing journalists saying they're totally committed. I think if they put their backing behind those two huge infrastructure projects, I think they'll reassure a lot of people that they're in it at Newcastle for the long haul.
Luke, when you look at Newcastle's league position, how much do the attacking players are to blame? Because Voltemada, 7 goals, Wissa, 1 goal, Elanga, 0 goals. Gordon and Barnes haven't been at their best. And to see the money they spent in the summer, Voltemada, Wissa, Elanga, and Osula is the starting striker, that can't be a good look, can it?
It's not a good look in terms of their recruitment last summer, Gabby. You played up front. You know how important goals are. There are. I mean, I think between Wissa and Voltemada, they scored 8 goals trying to replicate Isak's. What was it, 27 last season? Yeah. You've got a huge problem as a football team. Very, very, very basic. But if your goalkeeper isn't good enough, they've had huge problems in the goalkeeper position this season. Neither Nick Pope or Aaron Ramsdale have convinced me at all. So they can't keep clean sheets and they can't score goals. Now, that is a fundamental weakness in any football team. So they are going to have to address the striker situation. It's not fair to just blame Nick Voltemada or Johan Wissa for the season. But you have to also just recognise they've underperformed. They were scrambling around at the end of the window last summer to try and find 2 strikers to replace Isak. They've gone all summer saying he wouldn't be sold and then sold him on deadline day. And they brought in 2 strikers who haven't clicked. Voltemada's a talented player. Of course he is, but he doesn't look like a number 9.
Elanga as well, though. You know, zero Premier League goals. Like, they spent big money on him, didn't they?
Elanga's been poor. And I think that's probably the most damning of all the transfers last summer, because he was brought in early. He was brought in and must have been fairly near the top of their wanted list. Now, there are mitigating circumstances for the strikers, but Elanga just hasn't looked the same player that he was at Nottingham Forest. He looked short on confidence. And you'll have seen it, Gabby, when you played against Newcastle at St James's Park. It can get to players. It can be too much for some players. Playing on that stage in front of that crowd. And Elanga, for me, he doesn't look like he's got the minerals for it. And I hope he proves me wrong. But it's been a hugely, hugely disappointing first season from him.
Spot on, mate.
Look, brilliant, mate. Thanks very much for your time this morning. You have a good day.
Care. All the best, yeah.
Thanks a lot, mate. Still to come in breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Go big on landscaping with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need at travisperkins.co.uk.
OK, we'll be taking a look at the managerial roundabout and whether Gabby's beloved Unai Emery could be lured away by Real Madrid. Surely not. We'll also be asking the question, how much do United have to spend this summer to be title contenders next season? You know the drill, guys. 03717 223344. That is a number to have your say. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. From fence panels to decking or paving packs to topsoil, Travis Perkins has all your landscaping needs covered.
I'll bet you are delighted that I'm a Celebrity is all over. You've got to be thrilled at that.
I thought I'd gone to the wrong show. I thought it was the Jeremy Cole show. I've never seen so much aggravation. I thought I'm in the wrong studio here. All the crowd is shouting things. Oh, it was a nightmare.
Oh, I bet it was.
I thought, don't, I'm not a celebrity. Get me out of here. That's what I was going to say. It was David was, he was in good form, David Hay. But listen, Andy, we've been brought up in dressing rooms. You've been around football, you two guys, Andy, all your life. Banter. This wasn't strong banter compared to what you've had in dressing rooms over the years. You just get on with it, didn't you?
Yeah.
It all got out of hand. People couldn't take a bit of banter and become a big issue.
Yeah, no, it's a shame because again, great personalities, great characters in there.
Yeah,
but it's been unbelievable. What's been?
I was up in Scotland yesterday.
No way, where were you, mate?
I was at the Hibs Hearts game.
Oh, how did you enjoy it?
I loved it. What an atmosphere.
Aye.
And the people were great. I had a great day. Malcolm McPherson, a friend of mine, was the chairman at Hibs at one time. Malky, Malky Mackay. They met me and we went for a bit of lunch. And Peter Lowell came, you know, chairman, the ex, you know, from this, chief executive at.
Olivia Moore! And they sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Okay, we've got 7:52, Tuesday the 28th of April. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. And Olivia's back in. How are you?
Stick a load of singles in there and then they fall in love.
Of course it's hard. It's supposed to be hard.
A 36-year-old, you'll have the knockers, you will.
Just because it's offering its teat, do I really have to muscle on that?
Is there anything in your personal life that could be causing you stress, sir?
I'm not a great lover.
Hello, what's your name?
Sarah Louise.
Sarah Louise, crack, you're up for it, aren't you?
You know, I was in love at the time, that's what I was doing.
At the time?
Oh.
The wee clip that they've done Big Al. I'm not a great lover.
That
means I'll be brutally honest. I had him done as Don Juan. Right? To be honest.
That music though, Ali, you're going to have that on when you get home, not putting Viv.
Oh, I gave her a mention. No, I did.
You didn't last night, mate. I've heard it all.
I said, couldn't have done it without her, I said.
She allows me to go to work. She looks after everything else.
Kicks me out the door more like. I love it. What's happening?
Right. It is time for a bit of manager Tinder.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some dating profiles, some manager profiles, and I'm going to ask you to swipe left or swipe right, okay?
Right for positive.
Yeah, right is we think
You know what right
Yeah,
is.
of course you do,
I've not been on
Ali.
it for-
Can't kid a kidder.
I've not been on it for a while.
Paul Lambert used to say it. You can't kid a kidder, Gabby. You know that.
You can't kid a kidder. That's for sure.
Can't.
Gabby,
That was the worst accent I've ever heard. Okay, right. The first one we've got a smooth-talking Scouser. He's 6'1".
No such thing. Give me all the boys are wanting me that shout. Oh, I take it back, lads. Honest.
He was a very loyal one-woman man in his younger days, but hasn't had much luck recently whilst travelling the world, so now wants to settle down a little closer to home. He doesn't mind finding someone in a lower league than what he's used to. Steven Gerrard to Burnley. Are we swiping left or swiping right?
I think I could swap. Which ones?
Don't you
You
start.
just had to go at Ali for not knowing.
She's not buying me not knowing what it is. I'm definitely not buying you not knowing what it is.
I know it all. I'm on all the apps.
Swipe right for
Right.
tick.
I think it makes sense.
Steven Gerrard to Burnley.
He's anxious to get back into management. I don't think Scott Parker's made himself proud in the Premier League run this season.
But he's good in the Championship, and that's where Burnley are.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'll say to you. He wants to get back in, I get that, and he will get back in. But he's brilliant.
As a pundit.
Aye. Absolutely. He's one of the best. I was fortunate enough to work with him at the weekend. He was on Cole Combs, Marcel and Fletch. Different level. Different level.
Sometimes, Ali, you look at like Frank Lampard. Sometimes they just.
Oh, I know, mate.
Coach,
I know.
Don't they?
Right.
It's a drug, isn't it?
We got to swipe left or swipe right.
I'll go right on Burnley.
Right.
Okay, Steven Gerrard to Burnley.
You've got
Swipe
a
right. Nice. Okay, what about this one, Gabby? Unai Emery to Real Madrid.
Oh, dear.
My drink.
He's an experienced Spaniard whose heart is open to a move back home. He's enjoyed his time in the Midlands. His current partner is begging him to stay. But sometimes you just can't say no to something bigger and better. So will he ditch his babe in boring Birmingham for a magnificent madam in Madrid? Unai Emery to Real Madrid.
I don't think he'd want to go to Real Madrid.
Are you swiping left or swiping right?
Swiping left.
Hold on a minute. Did you just say?
Do you know what?
He wouldn't want to go to Real Madrid?
No, you don't get to explain.
Did you just say he wouldn't want to go to Real Madrid? And the reason for that would be?
Because at Aston Villa, he runs the show. It's his club. Real Madrid is chaos. Look how the players treated Xavi Alonso.
It's Real Madrid.
Vinny Jr. walked off the pitch and went down the tunnel. And when he got taken off, it's not work for Arbeloa. It's a bit of a toxic job at the moment.
It's the biggest club in the world, one of them, certainly.
After Rangers.
After Glasgow Rangers, yes.
I don't think it works. I feel like what he's got going on at Aston Villa, he runs the club, he decides every decision to go to Real Madrid, and what? You could be there for 6 months and get the sack.
Is this because you want this to happen? You don't want this move to happen?
I don't see it.
That's why I'm swiping left, because I don't want it to happen.
No.
I love him.
I don't see it
We can't do what you want. We think what you think is going to happen.
I don't think it will happen. I think he's got something good going on at Aston Villa. He's got a great chance of winning Europa League, Champions League football, hopefully. Why would he want to go to Madrid? Last time Ali was there, it was raining, wasn't it, Ali?
See, I've been playing this game for months now, and I've been getting it wrong. So it's not what you hope happens; it's what you think will happen. See, I've been playing the game wrong for months.
I didn't know Tinder was about that. I thought Tinder was like...
Yeah, okay, what you want to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm wanting to stick.
You reckon he's going to stick to
I love him at the Villa.
Exactly.
Do you know what I loved, man? See, when you could have went 4-3 down, Gabby, the other week here against my boy Sunderland, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, bang, up the park, Tammy, and he went in the dugout.
Exactly.
And he was behaving like exactly you want your manager to behave when you score a goal.
And Aston Villa are 10 points ahead of Chelsea, the mighty world champions. Sorry, next one.
Let's move on. Unai Emery's going to Real Madrid, so let's deal with it.
No.
Okay, the next one, Eddie Howe to Chelsea. A young, well-respected and well-spoken Englishman from Buckinghamshire. After the highs of getting engaged at Wembley last year, he thought his relationship would be taken to the next base, but it's gone downhill ever since. He's a popular, devoted man, but caution, there'll always be a third wheel in Jason.
I'll cut to the chase here.
Will he swap the Kings of Saudi for the Kings Road?
I'm cutting to the chase here. I'm swiping left.
Yeah.
I want to see Eddie Howe stay at Newcastle, get reinforcements in, no European football, and Newcastle finish top 5.
But I hear exactly what you're saying. But what if Eddie Howe is sitting there now saying,
he might be.
Maybe I want to go.
He might be.
Maybe I've took Newcastle as far as I can go with them.
And I'm sitting here saying, we've got to go to the news.
He's probably thinking,
Ali,
Chelsea sounds great.
We've all got decisions
Swipe
to
left
make.
or swipe right?
Swipe right.
Oh, you think Eddie Howe to Chelsea? Yes.
I think he deserves to go to a bigger club than Newcastle.
Oh, you just did that annoy me. I'm not getting involved. Coming up next, we turn our attention back to Manchester United. Ask a question. How far away? I mean, you're a bad man. I keep saying that.
Sorry.
When you put these wee things up on Instagram,
comments
I just go like that to you.
Yeah.
Gabby, you're a bad man.
It's not me.
Big breaking news in the world of boxing. Turkey Al Sheikh, there's been an official announcement now that indeed Anthony Joshua will take on Tyson Fury, but he will also be having a warm-up fight. Here to chat about that and more is our own Spencer Oliver. Hi, Spencer.
Andy, Paul, how are you both doing?
Yeah, good. I mean, he's not officially. He's put out this little cryptic tweet. Have we got any more as yet on that?
No, so we're hearing that Anthony Joshua is returning to the ring. It's going to be July the 25th, and the opponent that is supposed to be, or the rumours that are circulating, is a guy called Christian Penga, an Albanian now living out in New Jersey. He's had 21 fights, 20 wins, and 20 KOs. So, yeah, interesting.
Is it a risk?
Comeback for Anthony Joshua, but more importantly, great to see him back in the ring.
Yeah,
it is. Sorry, Spencer. I was going to ask you: is it a risky opponent?
I mean, I wouldn't think they would want to be taking that risk. But I mean, even if he were not to win, I doubt if it would derail this fight. But still,
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Five minutes past 8. It's Tuesday the 28th of April. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. It's a perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out, guys, online. Now, Ally and Gabby with you this morning. United took a huge step to securing Champions League football for next season, beating Brentford 2-1 at Old Trafford. But the question is, who will be in charge next season? Well, so many managers on the move this summer. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook and Ollie Klink discuss every single Premier League club and whether your manager is staying or going in the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast. And Crookie thinks that it's very likely Michael Carrick will be at United next season. Gabby?
I think, listen, like we said earlier, Ali,
he's got to get it, man.
He's got to get the job, but they have to be careful because they've been stung, haven't they? What they've paid out to managers recently, Manchester United. Make it a short-term deal, or if you're making it a 3-4 year contract, clauses in there. If you don't get Champions League football, we're allowed to sack you. And I think this goes on in a lot of managers' contracts.
Well, it does more now than it's ever done, I would imagine.
Yeah, it has to be. But I was having this debate with Sam Matterface. I said to Sam on Friday, I don't think Luis Enrique, if he was going to take a contract from Chelsea or Manchester United, would allow for these clauses to be in. Yeah. I think if you're a top manager, Ali, who's got what Enrique has with PSG, what he's won with Barcelona, imagine Pep.
He ain't moving,
He's not having any clauses in a contract.
No.
Of like, okay, you can get rid of me if I don't get Champions League football.
Yeah.
But I think someone like Michael Carrick can make sense with how Manchester United have been stung in recent years. Short-term deal, you don't get Champions League football, then maybe we go our separate ways.
I don't see a big deal. I just sit him down and say, Michael, tell you what we do. A couple of years, let's see how you go on, see how, we like you like us, see what improvements, you continue improvement in the team, and it will be a completely different...
Exactly.
It's a completely different, make-up now. I tell you what, and we're going to have a good chat about it, because right now, I'm delighted to see you join us. 5-time major trophy winner Manchester United. It's Dwight Yorke. Morning, Yorkie. How are you, mate?
Good morning, Dwight.
Yeah, good, guys. How you doing?
We're great.
Well, mate.
Thanks for joining us, pal.
Right.
It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? He's going to get the job, or is it?
Yeah, I don't know why there is a huge debate about it. Seems to be that seems to be out there a little bit, but certainly from my point of view, he's done a terrific job, an incredible job, as a matter of fact, and I don't see any reason why he shouldn't carry on in the head coach position.
I'm looking at Yorkie, and we mentioned that Gabby and I were speaking about it. We'll look at almost certain, clearly Champions League football. We definitely think, not taking anything away from the job that Michael's done, because he has done it extremely well, but we think he's been benefited by the fact no cup competitions. You can just concentrate solely on the league, which is great for him. But it'll be a completely different kettle of fish next season, with Champions League football, league campaigns, cup competitions, and all that stuff. First thing I'd say to you, well, he need to strengthen the squad, and by how much?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you take all those things in and factor it into next season, but we're not there next season. He was given a job to get them into the Champions League. He's done that with a lot of style, a lot of creativity. Nine wins from 13 games. He shows the return that even the best managers will be very delighted with. So next season will be a different ball game, but you cross that bridge when it comes to it, and he will know because he's been there as a player. Certainly, he has to improve the squad. The players will have more game time. There's a lot more to factor into it, to those situations when you qualify for the Champions League, and certainly a new season is up on us. There's a lot of things going on there, but for me, I look at the reaction from the players. They're playing with the smile on the face, they're playing with energy. And last night was just another factor in when you're seeing your winger, Hamid, making tackle and then breaking in the way that United break and being creative and scoring goals. It's just incredible. And that's, for me, is what's been missing. We talk about players expressing themselves. So you see that in abundance since he's taken the job. And the results shows that nine wins in 13 games. As again, for me, it's a no-brainer, because anybody who comes in and do a terrific job like that always then go on to get the job. So I think he certainly warrant that. And next season, as we know, once you get into the Champions League and the new season is up on us, there's a lot of things to factor in. But he will grow. He'll get a better squad, and he will get more players in. So, you know, the whole thing becomes even better.
Dwight, you know better than anybody that playing for Manchester United, you have to have a certain character. Do you think the players that were brought in last summer, the likes of Mbumo and Konya and Shesko, have that character to play for Manchester United?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a conversation that continues to be echo around the place. You need a certain character to go in there, and I think United is such a big club, or in fact, any big club you go into, you got to embrace it. You got to take it full on. There's a reason why they come after you, because they certainly see you. You can bring that sort of justification of why you go to such a big club. Obviously, it doesn't turn out that way to everybody, but certainly the mindset of going into a big club, you certainly have to embrace it. And these three players that you mentioned, I think they are terrific. And Boomer has been really good. Kanye, to me, is, you know, certainly a United player. He's got all the attributes there. Xisco, a lot of people have their doubts about him, but I study him very well. I think he'll be sensational. And the more he's grown, the more he gets better, the more game time he's got. I can see him really just blossoming like he has been. And he will be a terrific number 9 going forward. Still young, still learning, still certainly getting used to the Premier League. All of those things that you factor in, I think United is in a good place.
Don't disagree with any of that, Yorke. You're looking at midfield as well. Mainu's come back and looked great. Casemiro, another really important goal. But I tell you what, mate, Bruno, I was at the Chelsea game. I was saying to Gabby earlier on, Yorke, I was at the Chelsea game, and Bruno just looked a different level of anything that was on the pitch. And then Michael said it last night. I've been saying it for a number of weeks. He must come into the equation. I certainly get talked about for Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah. Again, the debate continued there when you look throughout the season. We know there are a couple of candidates in there, but certainly when you look at Bruno's level of consistency, and he's not everybody cup of tea in some way, the way he behaves, and that's always seems to be out there a little bit. But let's not go away from the actual focus of what he brings to United and his creativity. He is the engineer of that team. He really does make United tick on all fronts. And it shows again, because not just with his assists, but his goals, his leadership quality has gotten better. I think for me, again, there is a no-brainer there that he is easily, undoubtedly the best player in the league right now on current form, and certainly throughout the season. And he is the one who galvanized United being in the position. Yes, there's always goal scorers, but again, last night creating another 2, which he always seems to be the impact player in terms of United being successful, because if he plays well, most of the time United go on to then win the game. So as again, usually you get the likes of Mo Salah, Saka and those guys who's always been up there, so they're competing. And the players from City, before Kevin De Bruyne, those kind of guys. But certainly when you talk about a top player at current, Bruno Fernandes has to be at the top of the list.
No doubt about it. Yorke, what about yourself, mate? How's life? What are you up to?
All good, guys. I'm obviously in the management department now, so I've just left my position of the head coach of Trinidad and Tobago and looking to get back into management right now. So that's really up the top of the agenda right now, guys.
Yes. Sooner the better, pal. Yes, thanks for joining us, mate. All the best.
Pleasure.
Thanks, mate. Coming up, we're going to discuss Frank Lampard and the terrific job that's going on at Coventry.
So they won, Martin, and well done, Arsenal, for doing so. But with 4 games to go, can Arsenal unshackle themselves? Do they need to?
Well, I mean, look, to be honest, the situation Arsenal are in is normal. It's never easy to be a team that doesn't win it after successive years. 22 years for Arsenal, 26 years, wasn't it, for Manchester United, 44 years for Man City. You know, we can still hear Aguero in the commentary because what it meant and the day they tripped up there against Queen's Park Rangers. So these nerves are there. It's natural. I just thought that the weekend, Eze, how he handled those nerves, I think he's an example to everybody in the team, how he's loving the situation. I was stunned by the naivety of Newcastle, not recognising that, okay, we're all marking in the box, but that's not the player we need to pick up. And there was 2 early corners that was a sign to that. And his finish was magnificent.
But that's strange, isn't it? Eze, the one player who's never been involved in a title run-in, in a title race, is the standout.
Yes, but you think about his progression in the game, 27 years of age. Arsenal didn't want him, rejected him. His route to this level, he's enjoying the moment, embracing it. And that has to be the attitude. I think if I contrast that with Zupimendi, he's played a lot of games. It's a difficult moment for him.
And they sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Okay, 8:18, Tuesday, 28th of April. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning now as we are the superstar breakfast show here on talkSPORT. We bring you, excuse me, we bring you the superstar guests, of course. So this Thursday, that could not be more true, as we'll be joined by a man who's had quite a career, I'll tell you.
Frank Lampard! Oh! Pick that up. Frank Lampard blasts Chelsea into the lead for the first time. And is that the winning goal in this season's FA Cup final? He's not going to need him, is he? Frank Lampard has done it! A double for him. He's a champion. Chelsea are Premiership champions.
Lampard and Terry lift the Champions League trophy for Chelsea.
Correct. Champions League winner, 3-time Premier League winner, 4-time FA Cup winner, now Championship winner with Coventry. Yep. Frank Lampard will join us live on the show. I'm gutted, man. I'm not on Thursday. I'd love to have been on with Frank.
I was on to him last year, Ali, if he would come on. And what I like about him is that he said to me, I want to wait.
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't get over the line. And then this year they have. And then he said, you'll come on Thursday. I mean, we're lucky. Steven Gerrard we had on
Correct.
a few weeks ago. And to get these two legends on the breakfast show.
I'm just so pleased because, listen, the playing career that Frank had is up there.
Where do you start?
Where do you start, correct? But you know something, I'm just so chuffed for him because that'll mean so much to him, the job that he's done with those boys at Coventry. And I keep saying it, Gab, and you'll know better than me being from that kind of area. You couldn't help but feel sorry for the Coventry fans.
Yes.
Getting dragged the last 20 years, pillar to post, all over the place. With the move? Was it the
They
Rico
went to St
Stadium?
Andrews, didn't they, as well, to play some games at Birmingham City's ground? I'm sure they did.
I want to say they went to Northampton or something as
Yeah,
well.
I
They
think
were
they went,
absolutely
yeah,
all
they-
over the
yeah.
place. So, I mean, it's been brilliant. And I'll tell you what they've done. Not only have they won it, mate, they've done it in style.
Yeah, style. And I think as well, Ali, I looked at last year, the way they lost in the playoffs to Sunderland.
Oh, they were
Last
unlucky.
minute goal. Was it Ballard?
Ballard
Yeah,
header.
Yeah, header,
Remember
last
it.
minute goal. And Coventry were the better side in that game. So what I want to ask him on Thursday, Frank, is how did you get the spirits back up to go and smash this season? 92 points they've got so far. Because as a player, to go through that disappointment, and then you go through the summer and you come back pre-season, you've got to go again. What has he done? Does that show how good of a manager he is?
Yeah.
That he's galvanised that squad and brought in a few extra players and says, this year we're not doing playoffs.
See, talking about
We're
that,
going to
Gabby,
win it.
that's why I'm really intrigued, and I'm looking forward, in particular, to see how the Rochdale boys recover from that disappointment at the weekend to get into the playoffs. Because
was it over the line, the goal?
Well, do you know why? Yeah, do you know why I think it was?
Yeah, why?
Because none of the Rochdale boys complained.
I think the keeper chased the line though.
Did he? Did he? I never saw it. Mate, there was that many people on the pitch I couldn't see.
It was chaos. I think it was a York player who punched a fan.
So, mind you,
the fan was on. He was on top of him, wasn't he?
I mean,
And he got up. It was like a left. It was like a Tyson Fury boom.
Do you know, he
Have
kind
some of
of
that.
leaned into it, he dipped, he leaned into it, bang. Good delivery. We're going to go latest odds with Coral and Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Steve, a very, very good morning, my pal. How are you?
Gentlemen, a very, very good morning. I mean, we have put Rochdale on the map, by the way, on this on this
We
show.
have.
But, it was brutal. My heart went out to John, of course.
Oh, you've changed your tune, by the way. Just to let you know, I read out your message to me live on air. There wasn't an awful lot of sympathy flying John's way yesterday morning, Steve-o.
Tell you what, never share anything with you. I mean, it was tremendous drama, I would say that. But I just want to assure Derek McInnes, I've checked the table and Hearts are 3 points clear, Ali. Gab, I don't know if you were listening, but John was still a little bit traumatised yesterday morning. We made him work. And he got the Scottish title race a little bit. He thought Hearts only had a 1 point league, and Derek McInnes came on afterwards and was spitting out his tea, I think.
Was frantically checking newspapers for a league table just to confirm his team's position, Steve, at one point.
I want to confirm, Derek, if you're listening, we've had you 3 points clear, and not only 3 points clear, 6-5 favourites to win the Scottish title. So
Incredible.
I hope that clears that one up for Derek.
Brilliant. What, Steve, I'm going to throw in one at you immediately. Coventry City have been nothing short of fantastic. You heard us speaking about Frank there. Certainly this year, the tide has turned in terms of newly promoted sides, been more than comfortable in their promotion. Particularly, I think Leeds have been, I think
Sunderland.
I think they'll stay up, but Sunderland in particular. Yes, Burnham have gone down. Would you expect Coventry to stay up, Steve-o?
Oh, I mean, look, first thing said, and we said it before, it's great to see a great English player that could have gone into punditry. Frank could have done anything.
Correct.
He's chosen the toughest job of all in terms of management, and it's great to see an Englishman succeed. Well, look, we haven't got odds yet on next year's Premier League because we don't yet know who's coming up, who's going down, but look, they will be, no question, amongst the favourites to be relegated because Sunderland and Leeds were this year, but Sunderland and Leeds have proved that actually you can stay up. So,
Steve-o, as the summer goes on and the transfer window goes on and players get signed, would the odds change a bit? Like if Lampard brings in this player, that player, and they're really good signings, would it shorten the odds? Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's where Frank and his great playing career, you think he could bring in some players that perhaps surprise us a little bit. So, look, I say personally for me, I think it's great to see one of those, that legendary sort of England team, as it were. I call them legends, they didn't win anything, but make a success of it in management.
Yes.
So, exciting times for Coventry. But look, boys, PSG versus Bayern Munich.
Oh, we've got two games tonight, differing competitions, clearly.
Yeah.
Wow. Brilliant games, Steve-o.
But I think, Ali, you might be in the same camp as me. So, PSG versus Bayern Munich, first of all, to qualify, so over the two legs, we make Bayern Munich favourites, 8-11, even money PSG. Personally, for me, I think it's a toss of the coin job. I would genuinely have this at 10 to 11 each, or 2 to qualify. I don't know, Gab. What do you think? I know, Ali, you're very much in the PSG camp to win this.
I look at both teams and I say, man for man, PSG have a better side. And I look at like some of Bayern Munich's defending, and you do that tonight. Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, Dembele, Doué, dangerous. What I will say, Steve, I said to Ali earlier, phones on the side, kids are out the room, no one disturb me during this game tonight, mate.
Yeah, well, I'll come on to why I won't be watching all of it, sadly. Anyway, but in terms of the match betting, PSG are favourites at home, get a first leg lead, 7-5, 13-8 Bayern, 14-5 the draw. As I say, for me, this is closer than that.
Yes.
But that's reflected in the outright betting where Bayern Munich are 13-8 favourites because we make them favourites to get past PSG. Arsenal and PSG both 13-5, Atletico 7-1. But I think what we're all in agreement is this is the heavyweight tie, isn't it?
What price you giving me, Steve? I might have missed that. Did you say what price you giving me? PSG to win the game tonight?
To win the game, they are 7-5. We'll respond to I agree with you. I love the way how this PSG team have gone through the gears in this competition, haven't they?
Yeah.
You don't need to impress in the group stage. You just need to get through it, and they have.
Over 3 goals, easy money.
They control games. That's what they do so well.
Hakimi to score, PSG to win, Steve. There it is for you tonight. Steve, I've got to talk to you. What a game we've got. I mean, in the Championship.
Yeah, look, I think we should take a moment's silence for Southampton. That was hard luck. Wembley,
Steve, there's no need for that, mate.
No, I'm being serious.
Yes, I know you are, Steve.
I've got a few Southampton fans, and when they scored that opening goal, we were looking at a big upset. Oh, it was heartbreaking, Gab, honestly. You can see the tears in my eyes now, can't you? Anyway, they've got about, you talk about teams having to bounce back. They need to bounce back. 6-5 favourites.
Must win.
6-5 favourites, Gab, absolutely. 11-5 Ipswich, 5-2 the draw. Ipswich probably, 3 points off automatic promotion now? 4, I think, mathematically.
I want Southampton to win, though, Steve-o, just for that drama on the last day.
On the last day, I don't, but anyway, we can. And in terms of that promotion, Ipswich are 8-1 on to go up automatically.
Steve, somebody said to me, just coming up to 8:30, would be seeing the caring side of Dave Stevens from Coral regarding his coast up the coast neighbour Southampton. I would have shook my head in total disbelief, my friend.
All my sympathy went on Rochdale earlier. But look, very quickly, huge day for the Coral Racing Club. Phoenix of Dreams vying for favouritism in the last race at Southall. And then I mentioned why I'm going to struggle to watch all of the football tonight. I'm off to Lingfield. I didn't realise it was the last race at 10-8, but we've got Catalyst going for the club as well. So it's a huge day for the club. It's a huge day over at Punchestown, first day of 5 over there. That takes some getting. Illote Tomp versus Marine Nationale, the big clash in the Champion Chase. And Gab, I know you love a bit of Birmingham chat.
Yeah.
Just want to talk Birmingham because, as you know, at the start of the season, we pledged to donate 500 quid for every home goal the men's and women's team scored at St Andrews. 85 goals, 42.5 grand later.
Amazing.
Into the Birmingham City Foundation.
Yeah. Lovely.
And the big expenditure, Ali, is the walking football, which I've been along to, I've seen. It's a brilliant initiative. So, look, maybe results haven't quite gone as Birmingham would have liked in terms of, promotion.
Next season.
But 85 goals, a fantastic amount raised for a
Here, Steve-o. Brilliant job, mate. Well done. Enjoy your day, pal.
See you soon.
Fellas.
That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Coming up, we're going to turn attention once again back to your pal, Jack Grealish, and where his future will be.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
I'm telling you, these things happen. We
Right.
go, no, I won't give
Oh,
that one.
here
no,
we
won't give
go.
that one."
Get the violin out.
No, I'm
Get the violin.
Well, David Moyes
It's a
is...
conspiracy against Spurs.
No, it's not about Spurs.
Here we go.
It's about the Premier
The
League
reason-
bottling it. That's what it is. It's about the Premier League bottling it in big decisions. It happens at the top.
Where's the violin,
It
Dave?
happens at the top.
John-
it happens
John
at the
Whiff-
bottom.
John,
It
get-
happens every season.
What do you mean
all
every
the time.
season?
Man United used to get it, all the decisions
Oh,
straight away.
here we go.
And everyone was always uproar about it. Man City get the big decisions and people go mad about it. It happens every season. So don't say it don't happen.
No,
because
it does happen. It does happen, but there's no conspiracy. Can you just accept?
It's not about conspiracy.
There's no
conspiracy. No, it's the Premier League referees. They bottle it when it comes to big decisions. VAR there.
Don't bottle
it's a Stonewall penalty. Stonewall.
It is.
And how you can get that wrong and say that that's not a penalty is outrageous.
Now, Jay, I agree it's a penalty, but what I cannot accept.
No, it's a joke. Don't play the violin.
No, play it.
No, don't
Keep
play
playing
the
it.
violin.
No, play the violin.
David Moyes, they look at it's only Everton. It's only Everton. Right? Everton are trying to get European football. They're trying to get European football. It's a massive moment for Everton, that. Huge moment. And then West Ham get let off. Get off the hook. Get away with it. It's just ridiculous. It happens every year, mate. And don't say it don't, because it happens every season.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the tax man at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Quickly need to give Lime Bike a shout out. I woke up this morning to an email from Lime Bike saying they refunded me for my last trip. Didn't know if I told you, last week I went on the Lime Bike and it ran out of electric. So it was a lot harder bike than I planned.
Oh dear me.
So it was
you mean you had to cycle?
Yeah, I had to cycle myself.
Oh,
without,
poor
without
lad.
Ally.
How did you manage it?
The
I hope you, God forbid you had to go up any hills.
It was very, very tough, mate. So because I complained on Friday, they have refunded me.
Different class.
That's amazing.
We
need to complain more often.
We are a show that all we look for is a fair deal and a fair.
I've got a list here. All the companies, all the
credit where it's due.
Thank you, Lime Bike.
Credit where it's due.
Very nice people.
Well, on that, they're meant to be brilliant. I nearly
there's electric on them.
I nearly went on one the other week. Are they good?
They are good. Why didn't you get on one?
Because I walked.
Yes.
I walked effectively. Do you know how many steps I did yesterday?
How many?
18,000.
Wow.
Quite good.
Around your garden?
It was, honestly, God, I'll never do it.
You know
again.
what?
I was down picking the mail up.
The line bike, though, Ali, you've got to be careful, though, because there's a lot of bicycle lanes. But when the bicycle lanes disappear and you're trying to squeeze through the curb and a bus or a taxi in the bus,
you better behave yourself.
It's quite dangerous, mate.
I ain't having some of the cyclists, by the way. I'm a cyclist, right? I am a cyclist, and I am not having some of the cyclists.
They're dangerous, mate.
Diabolical.
You got to be on your toes, mate.
Flying through red lights. What? Right? I mean, if you're going to go on a bike, great to go on a bike. By all means, go on the bike. But you got to.
But I go through red lights.
The highway code's there for a reason.
Yeah, but you got no license plate, have you? Just go through them, mate.
Exactly. It's not on.
The whole point of a bike is like to get somewhere quick.
Yes, but not get through red lights and break the law.
Okay, all right, I'll stop.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Shop the upgrade event today and get an extra £500 when you part exchange your car. Do not miss your chance to push your valuation. Ally Gabby with you this morning. Now, we need to talk to your pal Jack Grealish. Images have emerged from looking a lot worse for wear, spotted slumped and fast asleep in a rooftop bar in Manchester after a drinking session with his mates. Before that foot injury ended his season in January, he had 2 goals and 6 assists in 22 games and even picked up a Player of the Month award back in August. Gabby, I love Jack. I think he's fantastic. I think he's an excellent player. I think he's unbelievable with the kids and the public and all that. I really do.
Yep.
I think he's a perfect example of how a modern day football player should handle themselves with the fans. Mate, you can't be doing this, so you can't be doing it.
Yeah. I think he'll be disappointed. Like I said earlier, that like those pictures will go out there. Like I said, Ali, I've been there. You know, where I've been pictured, and you wake up maybe the next morning, you're like, oh, that picture's got out. Someone's took a picture and obviously sold it on.
Terrible.
But, yeah.
I mean, that in itself is inexcusable, right? But whether we like it or not, and we don't like it, I certainly really dislike it.
I used to hate
that's the world we're living in.
Ali,
that's the world we're living in.
I was nowhere near Jack Grealish, but even during my time under Martin O'Neill, I remember going to restaurants, Ali, and literally like getting photographed outside restaurants and stuff. And even like sometimes when I went out, you were going through the club, down through a restaurant to get out the back door where a car would be there. You know, like I know it's hard to complain because you've got one of the best jobs in the world, but I didn't like that other side that come with it.
Yeah.
When I look at some of the real famous people out there, Ali, I'm like, I don't envy you where you can't go anywhere.
Horrible.
You can't go anywhere without someone taking a picture. But moving it on to football, you know, I think he's back or able to train in July. So I'm sure he'll be back pre-season. I think he's got another year at Manchester City. So I think he goes on loan again. And I'm sure David Moyes would have him back because he was in outstanding form before his injury. But at 30 years of age now, he's won it all. Go and enjoy your football somewhere. And he's really enjoying it. Everton fans took to him.
With you,
He loved his
100%.
time
Go and enjoy
at
it.
Everton. Go and enjoy your
But
football.
away from it, go and enjoy it as well.
Yeah,
but
be a bit more careful.
Be a
Definitely.
bit more careful, pal. Okay, it's time now for a bit of this.
Destination unknown, no.
You got it, no? I like it though.
I know it's tune from back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
In my party days, 10, 15 years ago, this tune massive.
Yeah. I've been told it's Crystal Waters or something like that. No idea, mate. Yeah, but exactly 50 days until England get the World Cup campaign underway in Croatia. Not in Croatia, against Croatia. Myself and Gabby will be asking a big question. Who's getting their boarding pass to the States?
Oh.
And who's already booking a sun lounger in Ibiza? First up, sadly, he's on a sun lounger for me, and I think it's a wrong decision.
Yes.
Trent.
Oh.
I don't think he's going to take
Trent might as well plan his whole summer
on a sun lounger.
Yeah, on a sun lounger. Get his sandals ready, Ali. Get his swim shorts ready. There's no chance. The manager brought Ben White in before him.
Why?
That says it all. When Ben White hasn't featured a lot this season compared to other available right backs,
Look,
he's obviously not having him.
I get it to a certain degree if you're playing France or Spain and you need to go stronger defensively. I get that. But surely England in these qualifying games, not underestimating anybody, but they've got to be favourites in every game that they start, and they've got to be in the front foot.
Especially Reece James. Reece James
injured.
injury problems as well. We are not good enough as a country to not have Real Madrid's first choice right back. Simple as that. In a squad of what? The 26, 20, whatever it is, we're allowed to take. Very, very odd decision. Like Livramento went down last week on injury as well. Will he be okay? I think it's odd, but this happens, Ali. Sometimes these managers, they're just not having a certain player.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Even look at like Real Madrid and Neymar. It's like Neymar's not going to be part of Ancelotti's. Sometimes these managers have their opinion on the player and they won't change it.
Well, I think Neymar's a kind of different situation, and tell me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, I think he's maybe at an age where that could come into question.
Yes,
but
different. It's a totally different.
We're actually questioning Trent's ability to get in that squad. Not age does not come in. It's not a factor, and it's baffled me, mate. Absolutely baffled me.
Outstanding.
I want to move on to another one. Morgan Gibbs White. How many times have you and I spoke, right? And we've actually said you sometimes play your best games when you're not there, right? Yep. I think that has been the case with a good few of the England players those last two internationals. Gibbs White, recent form has to be in it.
It's not even up for debate. I feel like the hat-trick he got against Burnley was
brilliant.
Scored again the other night. And when you look at number 10 position, you cannot tell me that Cole Palmer or Phil Foden deserve to be in the England squad before Morgan Gibbs White.
You don't?
My four number 10s, Bellingham, Rodgers, Eze and Gibbs White. Simple as that.
You're not messing about, eh?
No, I'm not messing about. I've seen Cole Palmer. He's not
no Palmer. Well,
no Foden.
The other one we're going to move on to obviously will be Phil Foden.
Yeah. Gibbs White deserves it, Ali. Like he's giving you numbers.
And he's turning up. I think he's got 10 goals this year already.
And he's turned up in big moments for his club. He's showing up. Simple as that. If you're Gibbs White and a manager phones you, Thomas Tuchel, saying, "Come on, Gaffer, like I'm giving numbers here. I'm putting in performances. Like that number 10 position, I deserve to be on that plane." Again, 26-man squad. He has to be in it.
He likes Rodgers though, doesn't he? In that 10.
Oh, right. Rodgers is the main guy. Rodgers is the.
You think he starts?
Oh, Rodgers is the teacher's pet. He is, and he deserves to be. He's different.
By the way, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. If he's a teacher's pet, and you've got him starting, Bellingham doesn't start.
I'd play Bellingham.
Where are you playing him?
I might play him. Can we have 12 players? No, Bellingham.
He's not playing before Anderson or Rice.
Okay, then. You look at the games that England have got.
Yeah.
You're telling me in the group stage you need Anderson and Rice? No, you don't. Bellingham and Rice?
No, you're right, because it's the same argument as we're having regarding the right fullback position.
Bellingham and Rice.
You can go more attack mind. Yeah, I get that.
And Rodgers can play off the left as well.
Instead of a 4-2-3-1, you could go 4-1-4-1.
Yeah. Well, but Bellingham can still play next to Rice as well and get forward and get back, Ali. Sometimes we complicate it in formations. You can have two centre midfielders, Rice and Bellingham, but Rice, you stay back a bit, Bellingham get forward.
But so effectively, you're telling me you're not playing Elliot Anderson. This is what you're telling me, right?
I don't think he's needed when you're playing the likes of, is it Panama? I don't think he is needed, to be honest, Ali. But maybe when you get to the semis against France, like I told you, then you bring him in. But it's a good debate to have. Ali, how many times do we see this and then by the time the first game starts,
I know.
Injuries,
I know.
And then you're like, okay, he's not having a debate anymore.
The big one's Trent, mate. That absolutely baffles me. Okay, still to come this morning on Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
I'm looking forward to this, mate. A literal titan of the ring is walking through those doors in about 2 minutes. He's a 7-foot icon, a multi-time world champion, and the man they call Paul White. And here to talk about AEW's massive return to Wembley Stadium. I've already warned Gabby, you'll need a ladder to stick up for the next interview. The big show himself is up next. That was our breakfast preview with our friends at Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With pay-as-you-go hire from Travis Perkins, you can get straight on with the job. Available nationwide at all hire branches.
But surely with players, Martin, conning referees with fake injuries and hence pausing games, there is a culture of distrust that's been sown by the very players.
Yeah, and with the goalies particularly, we saw that in the FA Cup yesterday. You know, caused a mini riot with Leeds players going berserk when the Chelsea keeper goes down. So I just think they got it right, and I think Glasner's right. I don't want to be just seeing the game stop there because somebody's got an injury. You know, he got up, he tried to get to his feet. We could see that there was an issue, but it was in the same action. I don't think you can stop it for that.
Even if it's a goal, is there a difference here in that it's the goalkeeper?
But what does the rules say? These guys make the rules up as they go along. They've made the rules up as they go along, and they now think that the rules that they've made up are the ones that everyone's got to abide by. The fact is that players have somehow managed to coerce referees into believing that every time someone falls over and hurts themselves, that the game's got to be stopped. And there's this unwritten law on the field that's established by the players that if someone gets injured and they determine the game should be stopped, it should be stopped. That's not how it works. The referee referees the game. And there's no rule that says if a goalkeeper gets injured that subsequently he's subject to a different set of circumstances than somebody else.
No.
The only rule that's, as far as I'm aware, and I'm happy to be corrected, is if it's a head injury.
Usually win a goal.
So the players have made that. This is what happens when you allow the lunatics to run the asylum. They've made up a set of rules that they think are now the governance of the game, and so they now think that when it doesn't go towards their governance, their version of the governance, that somehow they've been slighted. He didn't have a head injury. If a player gets injured, you don't stop the game because a player gets.
And they sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Oh, dear me. 8:48, Tuesday the 28th of April. What 10 minutes this is going to be. talkSPORT Breakfast, Ally and Gabby. Don't look at me like that, Paul.
Well, yeah, call me by the right name for crying out loud. You're trying to get me sued.
Exactly. Why should you be any different to him and I? We get sued every morning, mate. It's time to welcome a superstar to talkSPORT Breakfast, standing 7 feet tall, weighing over 400 pounds.
Not anymore. I'm only 383 now. I've lost some weight, doggone.
Have you really? Where's that 17 pounds gone then? Is it?
Yeah, well, more than that. I mean, yeah, from 400 pounds, yeah, I'm down to 383. So, yeah, we're doing good. I want to get down to about 350.
Seriously? Well, I want
to be a Calvin Klein underwear model. So, I'm working on it. They're big and tall section.
The only man
it's kind of a big and tall and short if you can put all that together.
ECW and World Heavyweight Championships. Please welcome Paul White. Paul, thanks very much for joining
us. I'm so excited to be here.
I was going to ask you the question, how are you? But it's blatantly obvious how you are. You're in top form.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Rock and roll. Let's have some fun. I love it. I'm having a great time. You guys always have such great energy, and I'm happy to be here. So, you know, I'm like I make the joke, I'm like Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. Like, I show up every now and then, everybody knows I'm still alive, and I go back and hide. So
I told you, legend of my childhood. And what did you say?
We're sorry for your childhood. We got to get you a better childhood, mate. If, you know.
I'll blame my dad.
Yeah.
Well, I want to take you back, if I may. Where did it all start? When did you decide that this was the profession for you?
When they gave me a job and I was broke. I'm like, really? I can make money at this? This is awesome. It's a really roundabout, long story that I'll try to sum up as quickly as I can. I had lost my grandfather and my father, and my coach got fired all in about the same year when I was playing basketball in college. I played for Wichita State. For a young man, that's a hard hit.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'm done with sports. I don't have any passion for it. I'll go out into the real world. So I was a door-to-door salesman. I answered phones at a karaoke place that did karaoke music. I helped host karaoke shows. I sold cars, used cars. I bounced. I did all the stuff. And I met this guy who had a real energetic personality. And he was like, hey, man, you should come back to Chicago with me. I'll get you a tryout with the Bears. everything I owned was in a laundry basket. I had a laundry basket, my dad's urn, and that's all I had to my name. And sure, so I went around with him, and he had a couple of businesses in Chicago, and he says to me one day, he says, "What do you want to do?" I said, the only thing my dad and I had in common is we really love wrestling. My dad was a hardworking man. He never took a day off. Like, he didn't get me playing sports. He wanted me to be a welder.
Yeah.
He says, if you learn how to weld, you'll never be unemployed. I've never seen an unemployed welder. You always put a roof over your head. And I kept telling him I had bigger plans and bigger dreams. So he says, well, my buddy Jimmy says, well, what do you want to do? I says, I want to do wrestling. My dad liked it. We enjoyed it. I might not be any good at it, but I want to give it a shot. So we met Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge Family, who introduced me to Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan met me, and I did a little Hulk Hogan impersonation. Let me tell you something, brother. I've been to the top of the mountain, dude. And his eyes got real big, and he said, you got a dollar sign on your forehead? And I said, well, please show it to me, because I is broke.
Yeah.
And my first match, I beat Hogan for the world title, and we're off and running.
Is Dad still here to see it?
No. My old man passed away in '92, so that was the hard hit, because he would have absolutely been insane. Even though he was a crusty, old, hard-working man's man. Like, he was 42 when I was born, so he was born in 1930. Yes. So those guys are a lot harder.
You said you went through that period, you lost those people so close to you, right?
Right.
How does a young man recover from that? Can he do it himself, or does he need help with people around him?
I think it depends on the individual. I think I don't want to give you advice on that. I don't know, because I didn't recover that well. I struggled for a long time with it. It's not something
a lot of people do.
It's the only thing I can say after getting through the other side, it does get better.
Yeah.
There were times like, when I was younger, like I would want to tell my dad something and I couldn't tell him because he wasn't around. So then, I know it sounds probably crazy, but I would just tell him out loud.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would write him a letter. Nowhere to mail it, but I would get those thoughts out. That was my own thing. And then I found something to do that was positive, that wasn't destructive. And I think, that was the main thing. I was fortunate enough not to take myself down a destructive route. I was fortunate enough to find something to put my heart and soul into.
Brilliant. That's event at Wembley.
Well, that's a real deep conversation.
That was.
For a sports show.
That was.
I just had therapy, for crying out loud. Let's depress him. Let's send him down the road depressed. Thanks a lot.
That'll teach you for coming on.
That'll teach me for being in a good mood.
On to slightly happier mood. Talking points. Wembley,
August 30th.
Come
All
on.
Elite. Yes, sir.
Talk us through it.
How
excited are you?
Super excited. This is one of our biggest global platforms for AEW is here in London. It's funny, when I first met my boss, Tony Khan, and we had inked the contract, one of my first conversations with him when we were talking about his plans for AEW, I said, listen, Tony, I'm telling you, I've been going to the UK for years. We need to get into O2 Arena in London. It's good for the talent because the crowds are different over here. And that's the thing that makes a great talent, is experiencing the different crowds and understanding their own character. In London in the UK is a great experience for talent. And I said, they will love All Elite Wrestling. They will love what we bring to the table. So him being a billionaire, I was pitching O2 Arena. Mm-hmm. He just went right around me and went to Wembley. So, okay, we go from O2, we go to Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people, our first run here. Set a record for that wrestling event, which is pretty exciting. So we've been coming back and putting on great shows. And this year I'm really excited. We've got Will Ospreay on our team, and he's a hometown London boy. What a great individual he is. There's not a lot of wrestlers, and I mean this in a kind way because you don't like everybody you work with.
Yeah. Yes.
But there's a few people that you run across and go, oh, wow, he's a real gem.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. It makes me wish I was a little bit younger so I could get him in the ring and kick the other guy. Because it'd be fun to chop meat with you. But yeah.
Paul, tickets are starting at £50. How important is it for wrestling to stay affordable?
It's super important for wrestling to stay affordable. That's the thing that's happening all over the world right now is everybody wants more now. So, with this kind of venue an opportunity for wrestling fans. I think it's going to balance out because of the length of the show, because of all the talent and the effort that AEW is going to put in it. It's going to be worth every single pound of it. But I also understand too, times are tough for people. So I encourage people to be fiscally responsible. As much as I want you to come and enjoy the show, I don't. I'm kidding. But, be fiscally responsible and plan now. We have time. August 30th is plenty of time. You can get your tickets at Live Nation UK or AEWTIX.com. If this is something you're a fan about, plan and be smart with it and come and enjoy it and have a good time. And if you can afford it, spend the money on yourself and enjoy it. But I think for entertainment value, I think it's worth it.
You talk about entertainment value. What is it? Just tell me what it is about the sport, because I go way back. I mean, I'm talking 70s. I can still name guys on the telly, whether it's Mick McManus, Jackie Parlow, Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks. I remember them, Big Daddy. Yeah. And I took, I believe Big Daddy's name, believe it or not, is Shirley Crabtree. There's a useless fact for you. And I took the kids many, many years ago to the wrestling up in Glasgow, the SCCC. Yeah. And the atmosphere, it's crazy, eh?
Well, that's the thing, and it's a form of escapism. There's a thing about wrestling that attracts so many fans, and because there's so many platforms to see it now, wrestling again is growing and becoming. Because I've been on the different cycles, attitude eras and whatnot, and wrestling goes up and it goes down and it goes up. It's on an upswing now, just because there's so many platforms for people to see it, and it's more bang for your buck when you think about it, because there's so many events you go to. Yes, there's a ticket price, and then there's the parking price, and then there's all these other things. Wrestling still stays, at least with AEW, still stays affordable, considering, everything's got more expensive now. I mean, I go back to, I remember when coffee was free. You remember that? Coffee was free as like a thank you. Now if you, none of your damn business. Well, I'm 54. I'm not embarrassed. I'm 54, but in giant years, I'm like 212. It's kind of like dog years. But, just going forward with it, it's a great experience for everyone to get together, because it's a family unit or a bunch of friends get together. There are characters to identify with. That's the thing. There are characters. Yeah. That's why wrestling appeals to so many people, because you have incredible female talent that it can inspire young women.
Well, I want to ask you, I'm running out of time. You could hear all morning with you. You're talking about looking after your bucks to pay. Who would you, if you had your last $50 and you had to pay to go and see somebody, give me your three. Who would you go and see?
That I would go see?
You would
anybody?
Go and see? Yes. Of any era.
Yes. Currently, any era, yeah. I would definitely have to see Andre in person. I would love to have seen a younger Andre being Andre.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that. I would have loved to have seen probably Lou Thez would have been another one, because he's a big pillar in American wrestling for sure. And then I'd like to pop over and see a show with like Marilyn Monroe. That would be pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, didn't expect that one, did you?
No, I wouldn't mind. To be fair, I wouldn't mind getting in the ring with Marilyn myself.
Well, I mean, you did say anybody. So,
Paul, it's been absolutely fantastic having you in this morning. Continued success. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thank you so very much for the time, and I hope to see you guys again.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. Now, coming up, we're going to build up to the Champions League semi-finals that are live on talkSPORT, of course, and ask you a question: how do Arsenal compare to the European giants left in the tournament? We will be discussing that next. Smashing. Big thanks to Paul, and all the very, very best.
Everyone seems to be talking about Chelsea's time wasting. So talkSPORT's Alex Crook asked Daniel Farke about it. Here's what he had to say.
A lot of your fans on social media seem to be unhappy with some of Chelsea's dark arts, should I say, today. Bit of time wasting going on. There was an incident, I think, where even Ampadu got himself in the middle of Chelsea's huddle when Sanchez was allegedly down injured. What did you make of all that?
No comments from my side after a loss. I want to show some class, and I would have spoken about this after, if you would have won the game. So I spoke about this topic a few times during the season. You know my feelings anyway, what I think about the goalkeeper going down. But after a loss, I don't speak about it and want to show some class.
Fair play to Daniel Farke. This only ever seems to be a problem once Chelsea do it. I have watched so many teams do it against Chelsea this season that I'm happy that Chelsea saved their time to do it for a very, very big game in an FA Cup semi-final. If people have an issue with this, they should have had an issue with it way before this game, because it happens all the time. This is a football issue. But my thing is, if that's...
From the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell, and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them. Like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Had my monkhouse moment.
You did.
Hit my Bob moment. Moving swiftly on.
Thank God he took it well.
Oh, I took it brilliantly, by the way, because there's only one winner and it wasn't
He's
me.
the wrong person to do that to, Ali.
There was only one winner and it wasn't me, mate. 6 minutes past 9. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan. Plus get an extra £500 for your part exchange. Shop the upgrade event today. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, what's coming up in the final hour, I'm going to tell you. We'll dive into tonight's huge game at the top of the championship table between Southampton and Ipswich. Really enjoyed Southampton's performance at the weekend, Gabby. Really enjoyed it, mate.
Yes, very
It is, of course, live and exclusive on talkSPORT. A win for Ipswich would earn a third promotion in 4 years. And what about this? Did you watch any of this? 4-time world champion John Higgins will join us after he knocked out Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Beat him, didn't he?
An absolute classic it was. What a game. But now, it's a massive week of Champions League football as Arsenal go to Atletico in the semi-final first leg. But before that, it's all eyes on tonight.
2 ace inside the penalty area. Right footed effort, deflected and in. And PSG lead inside 11 minutes.
The two best teams, are going to meet in the semi-final, Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. So it's very, very hard to say who's going to win that.
Kane comes forward into the penalty area and Harry Kane is amongst the goals again.
I think he has got this squad united and excited about the football they play. The work rate is phenomenal without the ball.
Llorente fires it in to the bottom left-hand corner. Atletico Madrid lead inside 6 minutes.
We know that they're not as defensively solid as they were in 2014 or even 2016. Having said that, they're a team that are a bit more clinical.
Oh, here's the moment. They've done it. Kai Havertz in stoppage time. Arsenal are going to win in Lisbon.
I just think it's like, just forget all the noise, start to turn up, start to play.
Okay, I'll tell you, what a game. Absolutely incredible. What are you thinking about Arsenal, first of all?
Arsenal, Ali, I watched the game on the weekend. Looking forward to it. We spoke last week a lot about Arsenal need to go into this game against Newcastle, get the goal difference up, goal scored. Early goal, Eze, great goal from a corner.
Brilliant goal, but they've not scored more than one goal in any of the last 7 games.
Ali, I couldn't believe
Could that cost
the game. Ali, I was watching the game, mate, and I was like, what's going on? It kept on showing the Arsenal fans, and they were biting their nails, and they were confused. It was such a poor performance without zero urgency. Wissa should have scored.
I know that.
So it should have been a draw. But you look at the chances.
He's got to put that.
He's got to score that.
Got to put that into the
But
deck, mate.
Arsenal, Ali, like the only plus point about the whole game was Saka coming back.
Yeah.
Madueke not doing enough.
How did Saka look?
Martinelli, he looked okay, but he looks like he might need a couple of games to get onto speed. Declan Rice, Subamendi. You know what they look like, Arsenal? Tired.
Which is unbelievable.
Looked very, very tired. You're Atletico Madrid tomorrow night.
That's a game.
You're getting after them because they looked very tired. Like, going forward was laboured. The players weren't in a rush to try and score more goals. I just don't get it. Everyone was saying the same thing. This game, you should be looking at it, and the Fulham game. How many goals can we score to get our goal difference better? But they were very, very poor, mate.
Well, they can't afford to be, mate, at this stage of the season. I looked at the City game, and I mentioned to you, I thought they did well against City.
They did.
Thought City obviously had most of the
Total
possession.
different performance on the weekend. Havertz wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm hearing, I didn't see the game, obviously I was at Wembley, but was it a lack of urgency?
Everything, lack of urgency. Final ball was poor. Final shot was from weird positions they were shooting from. Madueke had a couple of efforts, and you're like, no, keep the ball moving. Just it didn't look like that any urgency. And Havertz, you play well against Man City, then you're poor, you come off injured. Gyökeres comes on, is he sulking? He didn't look at it. If they play like that, Ali, for the rest of the season, they will not win the Premier League.
I hear it.
And they will not win the Champions League. No chance.
Well, we mentioned a couple of great games tonight. You know, the one in the Champions League. Just can't wait for. Delighted to see a German football expert, Archie Reintoot, joins us now for more on tonight's game. Archie, very, very good morning to you. How are you, first of all?
Good morning.
All the better for talking to you, Ali.
Great stuff, mate. Great to see you. I'm going to ask you this question, mate. Is it as straightforward? We've got the 2 top scorers in the competition, and we're going to see. I mean, it's a mouth-watering prospect, isn't it?
It is, and actually, that stat you're just mentioning about Arsenal there, it makes me think of Bayern Munich's unbelievable consistency this season. The fact that in 46 of their 49 games in all competitions, they've always scored 2 or more goals. And it is that relentlessness about this Bayern Munich team under Vincent Kompany which makes them just so exciting to watch. And at the weekend, for example, it was a game, they've already sealed the league, and they went away to Mainz. They went 3-0 down. Sure. Vincent Kompany at half-time, it has been said, went into the dressing room, was not too happy. And the fact that they come roaring out and win 4-3, the fact that when they bring on the likes of Michael Olise, Harry Kane, that Mainz can just not cope with them. And it is that, I think, every moment matters. When I've seen Harry Kane, this was last season, but it matters in the context. When I've seen him tracking back in the way that he has when it's 9-2 against Dinamo Zagreb, then you know that there is a good culture and mentality in that team. But you think about the PSG team they're coming up against and you think, oh, they're quite decent as well.
I think as well, for me, when I look at this game tonight, mate, I look at the battles on the pitch. Because if Hakimi and Mendes, who like to go forward, sometimes they're the furthest forward players, if they lose that ball, PSG, and you've got Diaz and Olise in the form that they're in, I can just see goals. Can you, Archie?
Yeah, I really hope so, and I think so. I think also just because of the aggression that both teams like to play with. I do think PSG have maybe a slight mental advantage just from having done it last year. And knowing their way round, their game almost that little bit more. But I think we're in coin toss territory here. It's such details that this game will be decided on. And the fact that Bayern, for example, that they have pretty much near their first team to put out is such a contrast to last season. And that's something that Vincent Kompany and the medical staff at Bayern deserve credit for, is that, you know, the likes of Jamal Musiala was out of the game last season, and that, I mean, look, there's obviously added narrative because he broke his leg against PSG in the Club World Cup. That was against Gianluigi Donnarumma, obviously, who's now at City. But there is also all these storylines adding into it. That Vincent Kompany, I think, in England was written off by quite a few corners because of what happened at Burnley, and yet I think it's shown that despite what may have happened there, the most important thing, I think, for Vincent Kompany at Bayern is his playing career, because of the aura that gives him in the dressing room and his understanding of what is needed to get out of top players. And the way that every player throws himself in for him, even though he won't be on the touchline tonight because he's obviously suspended, it's also going to be interesting to see if that dynamic makes a difference. Aaron Danks, Englishman, will be on the touchline instead of him.
Archie, tell me, I'm looking at Bayern have got a very good record against PSG. Harry Kane already got 12 goals. Interestingly enough, it says, reports are we're having talks with Bayern in the summer as he's out of contract next summer. He's got a £54 million release in his contract. I mean, he looks, we don't know what the future holds, but he looks to me to be very happy and very content.
Exactly that. He is so adored over here. And I think that as much as we all love the Premier League, in comparison to the Bundesliga, it's a bit of a banterverse. And instead of everybody pointing out what he didn't do in England, in Germany, it's just, wow, look how great this player is. They see a world-class striker who is ultra-professional, who, unlike other superstars these days, never downs tools if things don't go his way. And he's doing things that we've not seen before. I mean, I don't think he played in a Tottenham team that rotated positions like they have at Bayern. And there are times where you're seeing, hang on, why is Harry Kane at right back? Why is he at centre back? So it's like the positions and the respect that he's able to command in that team. I think it's just been a breath of fresh air for him. I can't see him leaving in this current form, because I think he feels loved. And you see the fruits of that. And also, like last season against Inter, big game. He had a huge chance at 0-0, didn't take it. Both games against Real Madrid, he has big chances and he scores them. And I think that it's something like that, for example, where we need to give him the credit, because I think in the past we've talked about Harry Kane and said, oh, but big games, does he show up? Those are two big games where he's shown up. And I think that will also be a little bit of a weight off his shoulders coming into this one.
Archie, brilliant, mate. I think he's been fantastic. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You enjoy the game tonight. We surely will.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, Ali. Cheers, Gabby.
Take care, mate. Have you got your teams out the picked up there. I know it's difficult.
Ali, honestly, mate, I feel sick doing this.
So you've picked 11 players, a team from the 4 teams left.
4 teams left, yes.
Right, the big question is, are there any Arsenal or Atletico Madrid players?
There's one Arsenal, no Atletico Madrid.
Right, the Arsenal player, I'm going to guess.
Yes.
Goalkeeper.
No.
Declan Rice.
No.
Gabriel.
Yes. Fair? I've gone for Neuer in goal. I know David Raya, fantastic keeper, but some of the saves Neuer's been making in recent games, Ali, in the Champions League. He was the difference, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Against Real Madrid. If Real Madrid had Courtois, maybe a different story.
Agreed.
But Neuer, that one mistake, but
Tremendous,
after that,
he was.
some tremendous saves.
Made the mistake early on, but after that,
Yes.
tremendous. Hakimi right back, it's not for debate. Tell me, don't look at me like that.
No, spot on. There's no one close. Hakimi right back, Mendes left back.
Yep, agreed.
Really like Mendes, Ali.
Me too.
I can't wait to see that battle tonight against Elise.
Brilliant.
Because
right.
Elise is going to be hoping that Mendes goes forward.
You're only getting your back 4, and I'm going to come back to you.
Okay, Gabriel and Marquinhos as my back 4, my back 2 centre halves. Fair?
Yes, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get the midfield and forwards.
Okay.
After the break.
Okay.
Archie there, German football expert, looking forward to the game as much as we are. Coming on next, yesterday we saw one of the all-time great snooker games. It really was, as John Higgins beat Ronnie O'Sullivan, and it can only be described as a classic. John will be joining us next.
What's the bigger gut punch, do you think? Callum Wilson's last-minute winner for West Ham, or Xavi Simons and a season-ending injury when he was a player who looked like he was capable of doing things for them?
I think the loss of the player. I mean, what West Ham do, they can't control. It's not within their remit. It's not within their gift. Of course, it's going to be a potential choker if they were sitting at home watching the game, but they were playing at the same time, so it wasn't visible to them till after they've achieved what they wanted to achieve, which was get their first win on the board. They have to focus on what they can do rather than what the opposition are doing. They have an opportunity. Villa are playing on Thursday in a European Cup semi-final against Nottingham Forest, which is going to be a battle. So they're likely to be leggy on the Sunday, so it gives Spurs an opportunity. And so they've got to focus on what they're doing. But West Ham digging that goal out in the last minute will have changed the whole dynamic again, because Spurs would have been out of the bottom 3, West Ham would have been in the bottom 3, and the whole scenario would have been slightly different.
Yeah.
But it creates fascinating outcomes for both clubs. Spurs have got their win. They had to work for it. It wasn't a great game. They beat a poor side. But I think they'll get some momentum from it. The goalkeeper, this is the goalkeeper that everyone said was buried, right? This is the goalkeeper that's never going to recover.
Really good save at the end.
Never going to recover. His career's been ruined. Everyone go out and give him a big hug. Saves him in the last minute. And people talk nonsense.
He showed resilience.
There
you go.
Simons, I did feel sorry for him, Jim. Tudor didn't really understand the player he had in the building. I thought Thomas Frank, in the end, was getting the best from him.
They sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
9:21, Tuesday the 28th of April. talkSPORT Breakfast, Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now we're entering the latter stages of the Snooker World Championships at the Crucible. You ever been to Crucible, by the way?
No, I haven't.
What a place.
Unbelievable.
Went for the place. Fantastic.
What would it be like if it was bigger?
Well, they're making it bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, but not by a lot, are they?
500 seats,
500, yeah. Could it be any bigger than that, or would it be too...
I don't know, but I know a man that's going to answer that question to us. We saw an absolute epic yesterday. 4-time winner John Higgins produced a sensational recovery. Wee man was 8-3 down, 9-4 down to defeat Ronnie O'Sullivan 13-12 in their last 16 tie. Higgins won the last 3 frames on Sunday and maintained that momentum by taking the first 3 on Monday, as O'Sullivan lost 6 successive frames at the Crucible for only the 5th time. Delighted, absolutely delighted to say, after that historic win, John is joining us now. John, good morning, mate. How are you?
Good morning, John.
Yeah. Morning, Ali. Morning, Gabby. How are you? Is you okay?
Aye, we're in brilliant form.
mate.
We're in great form, but I'll tell you what, mate, we're probably not as good as you. What a game that... It can't get any better than that, can it?
No, playing a great man yesterday, and we've played 6 times before there. Who knows if we'd ever play again there? But yeah, it was a great occasion playing him. Yeah.
It's one of these things, John. I mean, you talk about in sport, you talk about, you know, a will to win and a belief. Did you have any doubt at all when you're 8-3 down, 9-4? You must have had the slightest doubt at the back of your mind, or were you just totally focused on the next frame ahead?
I had to stay focused, Ali. I know I was 6-2 behind, and I thought Ronnie was hitting the ball unbelievable. He really did. I thought he played great throughout the whole match. He missed a couple near the end where he said maybe the pressure got to him a little bit, but I just had to concentrate. I was 6-2 down, and I said to my family, I said, I need to win the next 2 sessions. I don't care how I win them. And luckily I won the second session 5-3 to give myself a chance getting into the last session, 9-7 behind, and then I managed to play well the last session, and then took it to Ronnie a little bit, and it turned out a great game.
John, what do you make of all this drama surrounding Ronnie's chalk? Neil Robertson has asked for it to be banned.
By the way, it's a good shout. That is a good shout, because it really does. It just messes the table up. It's like getting back in time playing. Now we've got a new brand of chalk called Tail, and it's like a game changer in the last 4 or 5 years. But I don't think Ronnie enjoys using it. But I personally think Ronnie uses it because he's got a better cue ball control than any other player in the game. So he feels as if he can still control the white better when we're getting bad kicks and bad bounces. And but no, 99% of the players on tour now, they hate it. They really do.
Right, Joe, I'm going to ask you the tournament. Selby knocked out, 13-11 Wu. World number 1 Judd Trump out. Here's one for you. I'll be brutally honest, mate. I love my snooker, but I'd never heard of the guy. Is it Hossein Vafai, the Iranian that beat Judd Trump?
Oh, what a player Hossein is.
That was going to be my point here. I mean, the emergence of the Chinese stars and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just going to another level, isn't it?
Yeah, Hossein's been really unlucky in the last few years. He's stopped start. He's a tremendous young guy, but he's had a lot of problems getting visas to come into the UK sometime, and then getting visas to play abroad a lot. So he's only been playing in maybe sometimes half the tournaments other guys have been playing in. Whereas if he was playing in the full quota of tournaments, he'd be in the top 16, without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, he's a tremendous juiced, and what a win he had against Judd last night. He played amazing last night.
Some result that. Listen, I know you'll know about wanting to get carried away, but can you make it 5?
Oh, I'd love to, Ali, but listen, it's a long tournament, and I've got Neil Robertson next, who's just an unbelievable champion as well.
Yeah, of course.
He's a guy that should have won it multiple times. He's only won it once, and that's what he'll be aiming for. So that's what's so tough about this game. It's now you scale the heights yesterday, but then I'll be walking out there this afternoon, and you're starting 0-0 again. You've got to climb another mountain against Neil Robertson. So I'm taking nothing for granted. I've got a mammoth game next, and I've just got to get in, just give it the same intensity that I've done against Ronnie, and hopefully I can come out winning.
John, if I offered you now number 5 or Celtic winning the league, which one are you taking, mate?
Oh, number 5 all day, Gabby. Now, fed up Celtic winning the league. I mean, it's just, it's one of these things. It's take it for granted, don't you?
John, it'll be of no consolation to you. I'd rather you won it for 5 as well, mate. Seriously, I was talking to Big Brazil. It's amazing. These last 4 or 5 games, I was working at the what you call it, the FA Cup finals on Saturday and Sunday, John. But Scottish football fans up and down the country, we're looking at phones now, and I'm going, oh no, 2-0 down, 2-8 your beauty, and then 3-2. Big Brazil's phoning me. It's the excitement. It's been. I mean, it has been brilliant, hasn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, I've even had Stephen Hendry over here at the Crucible. He's chipping away at me. And I had to say to him, I says, who's the Hearts captain? You know what he said? Craig Levine. That's what he said. No,
they're all coming out of the closet now, pal. All these part-time Hearts supporters,
But seriously, if we've got a massive game. I don't think we ever do great at Easter Road on Sunday. If we could win that and then put a bit of pressure, then it's one of the times. When have we ever wanted Rangers to win a game?
I know.
There you go. Now, on Monday when they play Hearts, but I heard Derek McInnes yesterday. Listen, they've done brilliant, haven't they?
Incredible.
They've done amazing, and if Hearts do beat Rangers, God, it's going to be tough to stop them. It really is.
Well, John, I tell you what, last night was brilliant, fantastic result for you. But what I'm taking for the conversation today is, you'll be cheering the Rangers on against the Hearts. That'll do for me, pal. We'll leave it at that, will we?
Absolutely.
Listen, mate, well done.
Thank you,
all
John.
the very best in the quarter-final, mate. Genuinely hope you go on and win it. Be brilliant.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, Al.
Thanks, mate. All the best. That was snooker legend John Higgins here after a tremendous game against Ronnie. Want your team? Midfield, forwards?
Midfield has to be... Listen, Declan Rice is close. But in recent weeks, I've not seen enough from Declan. Neves, Vitinha, and Zaire Emery. I've gone for the 3 PSG midfielders. And then Elise, Kvaratskhelia and Kane. But special mentions to Dembele, Doué and Barcola, because I love watching them play. But the former Elise has been in, and Kvaratskhelia, they have to be in.
So just for confirmation, 4-3-3. Read it out, goalkeeper.
4-3-3, Neuer, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Gabriel, Mendes, Neves, Zaire Emery, Vitinha, Kvaratskhelia, Elise and Kane. I feel bad on Dembele. I love Dembele and Doué and Barcola. But yeah, I think that's fair. That PSG midfield, Ali, unbelievable,
wasn't it?
Because Bayern Munich have got decent midfielders, but not on the level of PSG.
What a game we're in for tonight.
Can't wait, mate.
That's some team you've named there, pal. What we've got, 9:28. We're going to take a short break.
talkSPORT's Alex Crook has got some information about Enzo Maresca.
Yeah, I think the vibe coming out of the Northwest for some time now has been that Pep Guardiola is more likely to depart than to stay at the end of the season. Whether winning the Premier League title will influence that decision one way or another remains to be seen, but it does seem like the direction of travel is this is going to be the last few weeks of Pep Guardiola's tenure, despite the fact he's got another year left on his contract. There was always a suspicion, I think, from Chelsea that when Enzo Maresca left the club on New Year's Day, his next port of call would be Manchester City. talkSPORT understands Maresca very much the front runner. Should, as expected, Pep Guardiola step down at the end of his trophy-laden tenure at the end of the season. There has been some suggestions that maybe there's still some contractual issues with Chelsea. We're being told by sources close to Maresca that he is free to take another job as soon as this summer. And I've been told by more than one source that high-level talks between Manchester City, their sporting director Hugo Viana, and Maresca have been taking place. Now, that's not to say City want Guardiola to leave now, but of course they have to prepare for that eventuality. So Guardiola likely, we think, to depart at the end of the season, and Enzo Maresca very much the heir apparent.
If that is to happen, what has been the impact on on the Premier League by Pep Guardiola?
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year, it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
We're in home straight, pal. 9:33, Tuesday, the 28th of April. Now, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. It's a perfect time to upgrade your car. Get 2 years free servicing when you buy a used car in the upgrade event. Check it out online. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, time for a bit of this.
Dreams can come true, and Marie, we're with you. Know you gotta spend money. I know you gotta catch Arsenal. Dreams can come true. PSI, I hate you. Let us spend some money. Let us
that weirdo? You know what you've done? You're just taking the pressure right off my Spandau Ballet.
Who was that?
Before that, I heard that my Spandau Ballet was the worst of the lot. Right, there's no doubt about it. Why are we playing this? I'll tell you right now, Gabby's dreams have come true because talkSPORT have teamed up with Villa to create a fan zone. Gabby, you know this, for every single England game at the World Cup, and with 50 days to go until England kick things off against Croatia. On June the 17th, the excitement is, of course, building. Villa, proper legend Gabby Agbonlahor will be there to get things started at Villa's brand new venue, the Warehouse, for that opening match with massive screens and an incredible atmosphere as England begin the World Cup campaign. Head to talksport.com/fanzone now to grab your tickets.
It's not just for the fans, any fans welcome.
Of course.
You know, everyone's welcome. Birmingham City, West Brom, Wolves.
Yeah, brilliant atmosphere.
Warsaw. Anybody that's travelling from any part of the world can come and watch.
Where's Stalybridge Celtic from?
You what?
Have I just made that name up? I thought they were your neck of the woods.
It'll be a good event now.
Great. Who else is going, mate?
I'm doing the first one.
Brilliant.
I'm not sure who's doing the others. I think I'm doing 2 of them, and we've agreed so far. I'm looking forward to it, Ali. It's a lovely warehouse that they built, and
it's some atmosphere.
I think as well, when you think about it, when you want to watch games, Ali, where can you go? Your local pub, maybe a friend's house. Why not come to a warehouse inside Villa Park? talkSPORT fans there throughout it as well. Get to interact with them. Q&A. It'll be a lovely day. Looking forward to it.
Great, mate. Different class. I'm looking forward to tournament.
And the semi-final. You're going to do the semi-final?
Well, Listen, mate, you lot are unbelievable. That was a highlight.
Every single one of the games will be
You
there.
actually said to me before those two friendlies, I'm going to fly over for the semi-final against France. You're even telling me who you're playing in the semi-final.
It could have been worse. I could have said final.
What is it with you lot? Anyway, we're heading into the final game of the season. There's lots of jeopardy clearly at both ends of the table. We're going to hear who can begin up or down across the EFL.
Confused about the EFL picture? Who could go up and who could go down? Well, on talkSPORT, we got you covered.
We just love the EFL on talkSPORT. That's how it'll always be.
In the Championship, Ipswich go to Southampton tonight, which is live on talkSPORT, with the picture like this. Ipswich have 80 points, and a win tonight will guarantee them promotion.
Racing down the right for Ipswich is McAteer with a low shot into the corner. Instant equaliser. Never, right off Ipswich Town.
However, if Southampton win, who have 76 points, it means 4 clubs can all grab second place on the final day of the season this Saturday. They're Ipswich, Millwall, Middlesbrough, and of course, Southampton.
Puts the cross in over the head of Larin. On the volley, it's in! It's in! Unbelievable stuff! Southampton are going to win it! It's going to be some race for promotion between now and the end of the season, and Southampton are proving they are not out of it yet.
It's been sensational. It really has. talkSPORT's Ollie Clink there. What a season we've had all the way through the AFL. It's been incredible. We're going to start with a huge game. What a game we've got tonight, Gabby. What a game in the Championship. A second takes on fifth as Ipswich travel to Southampton. Knowing a win will secure the return to the top flight the first time of asking. We're going to build up tonight's game, which of course is live on talkSPORT with a man who made 396 appearances for the Tractor Boys. It's Ipswich legends Luke Chambers. Luke, a very, very good morning. Thanks for joining us, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good boys. Morning. Just admiring Gabby singing this morning.
Shocking,
awesome.
mate.
That wasn't me, mate.
Look, he's taking the pressure right off me. My spine down Bally was officially the worst in history, and he's just took the pressure right off me, mate.
Terrible.
Fully.
Listen, Luke, they're plain and simple. What a game. What an opportunity for Ipswich. But they're playing against a form team who I was at Wembley at the weekend and probably can consider themselves certainly unlucky not to take City at extra time.
Absolutely, yeah. Southampton, absolutely flying. 15 games unbeaten in the Championship now. Just winning games left, right and centre. The one slip-up was obviously before that FA Cup game against Bristol City, where everyone expected them to just brush them aside to make this game tonight even bigger for their perspective, because they would have took them level on points with Ipswich as well. And it's so huge, but Ipswich just keep getting the job done at the moment. And even that's without the best performances, they just keep moving along. They're really, I think, having the benefit now of the strongest squad that everyone's made so much of in the Championship this season.
Luke, Ipswich have obviously got 2 chances, haven't they? QPR at home on Saturday, when QPR really aren't playing for anything now in the last game of the season. But I'm sure you and all the Ipswich fans would love them to get it done tonight, go out and put on a performance and get the 3 points.
Yeah, definitely. And against the team, like we say, that is the best team in the Championship at the moment in terms of form and the way they're playing. But to go there and do that, I think Ipswich will definitely set up in a way to try and stifle Southampton a little bit. They did that against Norwich in such a big pressure game a few weeks ago when Norwich were playing really, really well. So I think they may approach it slightly differently, because when they are compact and they have pace and skill and execution on the break, I think that's what they'll probably look to do. But yeah, everyone's hoping it'll be a full away section. They'll be travelling down in their numbers. So it's going to be a massive, massive game.
Look, tell me, mate, we saw this year in particular the difference that a good window for a promoted side can help. And you look at Sunderland, for example, and arguably the signing of the season with Granit Xhaka. Leeds look as though they'll be fine. I think their form has been good as well. What's it going to take for, if yourselves, for Ipswich, Scotland, indeed Coventry, what's it going to take? Because the buck has changed a little bit. I think a couple of years before that, the top 3 teams automatically come straight back down. Not the case, obviously, this year. What would it take for the promoted sides this year to stay up?
Again, it's going to be a massive task, isn't it? You can only take the examples of what we've seen this season from the guys that have been promoted, like you say, the Leeds, and how they've adjusted, the Sunderlands, who no one expected them to even have a fighting chance, and they've absolutely flown with it. So it's all about recruitment. I think we speak about it all the time, don't we? It's not hopeful. It's really thought through, having the right people in the right places to bring in those players that can execute if it's Kieran McKenna's plan or Frank Lampard's plan to continue playing in a way to win games. I think Ipswich, when they got promoted a couple of seasons ago, they continued to try and play the same way that had brought them success. And listen, no one blames them for doing that, but ultimately it's a different beast when you're in the Premier League, and it's all about who they recruit. I'd like to think again, Ipswich they'll have to make big changes to the squad. I don't think they've got themselves into this position with being really convincing and have lads that are playing out of their skins week in, week out. It's almost been like a pragmatic approach where they've just got enough over the line. They've just had the individual moments of brilliance, and I think that's probably not going to be enough early on in the Premier League season anyway, if they do get over the line this week.
I think as well, when you look at the Premier League, Luke, especially this season, yes, it's not been the most entertaining as previous seasons, but every game's tough, isn't it? You know, you look at the Bournemouths and the Brentfords and the Fulhams, Arsenal recently losing to Bournemouth at home. Like, it's tough. Newcastle struggling on 42 points. So Ipswich have to make sure whatever they spend, it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think they spent plus 120 plus million when they did get promoted. So they didn't try and not have a go. They built a squad that I think that moved them forward. I think where they want to be, they're probably 2 or 3 years ahead of their plan when they did get promoted a couple of seasons ago, like we say. So I think they were just consolidating, bringing in better players to make that squad depth better. They've certainly done that. But yeah, every game, Premier League, we cover it every weekend, don't we? So we just know how difficult each game is, whether that's home, whether that's away. Each team comes into a game with form and it can go out the window. So I think it's been really competitive this season. And as you say, the teams like Sunderland have found themselves in the top half. You look at Brentford, everyone wrote them off when Keith Andrews took over. So I think the opportunity is there for Ipswich to really make an impact if they do make the right signings and build that squad.
I tell you, looking at it, look, obviously a couple of teams that won't be cheering Ipswich on tonight would be Millwall and Middlesbrough. By the way, what a job Millwall. Wow. Have you seen it much of them? They've had a fantastic season.
Oh, they've been brilliant. And I think Alex Neil's, he's been there and done it. He's got 3 promotions on his CV. They've gone under the radar. I don't think anyone really gave them a chance as well. But everyone, every week that goes past, they're writing them off. They'll fall out. They'll fall down. But credit to them, what he has done so well with the squad that he's got, and he hasn't had anywhere near the depth that the other teams have had, like the Coventrys, the Ipswiches, even the Middlesbroughs to a degree. He's changed games during them. At half-time, he's figured out something's not quite working. He's then gone to a 4-4-2, 2 up front, which we're seeing a little bit more of lately. It's really helped them score goals, be very difficult to beat, and again, just keep brushing teams aside. So for me, for the neutral, if Ipswich don't win tonight, it goes to that final day with 4 teams in it. It's nothing like we've seen, is it? And that's what we want to be seeing, especially with us covering the EFL so much.
But even when you look out of the playoffs, you look at like Birmingham City wanted to have a good go, didn't they? And they're spending good money on wages. You look at Sheffield United, where they are. Stoke, at one point Stoke were flying, weren't they? Look where they are now. It's getting harder and harder, isn't it? The Championship, League One and League Two.
Yeah, 100%. I think all the leagues now, yeah. And you look at, I think it's only League One, is it? That both teams have been promoted already. I think there's a couple in League Two, but they're still fighting for those spaces all the way down to sort of 6th and 7th. There's teams, 2 or 3 teams that can still get in the playoffs in each of those leagues. And with those playoffs expanding next season as well, especially in the Championship, it's giving so many teams that opportunity to, if they can put a run together. You mentioned Stoke. I think they were victims of a massive injury crisis. And again, when they've been through that transition of not being anywhere near getting back in the Premier League, they've had to cut things back, and that affects the depth of the squad. So I think you're looking at the teams that probably are at the top of the table, maybe bar Millwall, that have had the most investment in their squad in the last 2 or 3 years, just to have players that they can fall back on. Because you guys know as well as I do how many games you have to play through that season, including the cup games, and it's such a slog. And they're right at the end of it now, so it'll be incredible, obviously, if Ipswich can do it, but it's still up for grabs.
It's some division, look, of that, there is no doubt, and what a climax we're going to have to in the cup next week or so. Fantastic. You enjoy the game tonight, mate. Thanks for joining us. All the best.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks a lot. Andy sent me a wee message. Stanley Bridge Celtic are from the Manchester area.
Exactly.
I thought it was Birmingham.
Close enough, isn't it?
Geography, never my strong
they
point.
can still come to the event.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're welcome.
Coming up, it's the award-winning White and Jordan from 10 a.m. A third SJA in a row.
Amazing.
Isn't it brilliant? Yes. Congratulations to the boys. We'll take a short break. That's what we do here at talkSPORT. We make the news and we break the news. bet you are delighted that I'm a Celebrity's all over. You've got to be thrilled at that.
I thought I'd gone to the wrong show. I thought it was the Jeremy Cole show. I've never seen so much aggravation. I thought I'm in the wrong studio here. All the crowd is shouting things. Oh, it was a nightmare.
Oh, I bet it was.
I thought, don't, I'm not a celebrity. Get me out of here. That's what I was going to say. It was David. David was, he was in good form. David Hay. But listen, Andy, we've been brought up in dressing rooms. You've been around football, you two guys, Andy. All your life, banter. This wasn't strong banter compared to what you've had in dressing rooms over the years. You just get on with it, didn't you?
Yeah.
It all got out of hand. People couldn't take a bit of banter and become a big issue.
Yeah, no, it's a shame because again, great personalities, great characters in there.
Yeah,
but it's been unbelievable what's been.
I was up in Scotland yesterday.
No way, where were you, mate?
I was at the Hibs Hearts game.
Oh, how did you enjoy it?
I loved it. What an atmosphere.
Aye.
And the people were great. I had a great day. Malcolm McPherson, a friend of mine, was the chairman at Hibs at one time. Malky, I went and met.
They sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Gabby Agbonlahor, and my partner in crime has only gone and done it again. Ally McCoist is your sports pundit of the year.
So my last in memory is the guy that's driving the boat diving off the front of the boat. Remember Live and Let Die, James Bond, Roger Moore? That was me in a jet ski. So I went flying over.
You could actually feel the emotion in the place. You could feel it. It was palpable. It was magic. If there is one player in the league that we can cut a bit of slack, it's got to be Mo Salah, because he has lit up our league. Get back to the bumper. Right, talk me through it.
What a lot of nonsense that is. It's SpongeBob SquarePants.
How many scenes did it take to get the kiss correct?
Just the one, Gab. You know the deal. Just the one.
Why do I find it hard to write the next line? Oh, I want the truth to be said. All right, here we go. I know this much is true. I know this much.
So, Alistair.
Oh, Gabby, man, that was I don't know how you reached that.
Why are you gone so red?
I was trying to reach that note again, mate.
So to finish the show this morning, the producers thought it would be nice, Ali, to put you through some hard-hitting questions.
Okay,
because
great.
you are the pundit of the year.
Thank you very much. Right, here we go.
So, number one.
Yep.
Who is your player of the year?
Oh, see, that's a great question to open with.
You can't sit on the fence.
I'm not.
Of the year
I'm giving you. I've got a player of the year.
Right.
I could probably get influenced a little bit if somebody goes on and throws in 3 or 4 title-winning performances.
Oh.
By that I mean Nico Reilly, I think, has been outstanding. I think he's a shoe-in for the young player of the year. Yep. But if he went and scored another couple of goals that win City the league, he's got to come into the equation.
Okay.
Declan Rice probably similar.
Okay.
But I'll tell you who I'm giving it to. Bruno. I think he has been outstanding.
Yes.
I expect him to go on, certainly equal and probably beat the assist record that Kevin De Bruyne.
2 more, doesn't he?
He needs 2 more, and Thierry Henry. I've watched him closely in recent weeks. I've watched him closely all season, to be honest with you, Gab. I thought his level of performance, and I mentioned that the game at Stamford Bridge,
yes,
he just looked a level above anything else on the pitch. And you think of the talent, there's really talented players on that pitch. You know, Caicedo, Fernandes, all these boys.
But when you say Bruno Fernandes, I totally agree with you. I think he should get it. But does that show the level of the Premier League this season?
We were disappointed. Is that you mean that?
Not that like he's been disappointed. I mean, he's been very good, but there's not really another standout candidate.
Yeah.
Really? You know what I mean? You're not going to look at Haaland.
I'm with you. I mean, Haaland's goal return is as normal.
Arsenal players haven't been outstanding, have they? Liverpool haven't. Chelsea.
No, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. There's been no really, particularly the last 6-7 weeks, there's been no outs. I go back, Nico O'Reilly definitely would come into the equation. But apart from that, there's been no, like,
Crazy though,
when Salah won a level of performance, you know, you thought, wow, there's your winner right there.
Straight away.
Yeah. But so therefore, I'm at this moment in
Bruno,
time.
all right, fair enough.
Bruno.
Okay, Ali, next one. It looks like Anthony Gordon is going to leave Newcastle. If the Bayern move doesn't happen, would he be the perfect player for Arsenal on that left wing?
I'm not sure he'd be the perfect player, but I think he gets in the Arsenal team. I do. The one thing is, I don't think he's getting anywhere near the Bayern Munich team, by the way.
What does he offer more than Martinelli and Trossard?
I think he's a bit more direct, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I really do. Martinelli's got great pace. He certainly has. Excuse me, Trossard, chip in with his goals, can come off that side. But I think, I don't know whether you agree or not, I think Anthony Gordon is probably more direct than the other two. And I think it is one of, if not the most important thing in the game at that level, at the top level. You have to have players in forward areas, particularly wide forward areas, that can get by people. Because if you're sitting at the top of the league, City, Arsenal, you're playing against a low block, whatever you call it nowadays, right? 4-5s, and they sit tight and they don't move. And if you just move the ball around them, Gab, they'll just move around and their shape doesn't change and they'll drop in, drop out, push up, all that kind of stuff. But if you've got a winger that goes by somebody, then the picture, I keep harping on about it.
And also, the
picture changes.
England are going to need that in the summer.
Of course they are.
Because when you look at the likes of France in the semi-final.
Yes, big game for you. Big game.
Doué, that's what he does. Barcola, that's what he does. Dembele, these players, 1v1, even 2v1, they're going to get you.
Do you know who did it at the weekend? Doku. Right? Sometimes he drives you crazy with the end product.
Exactly.
But that's what Pep did. They brought him and Savinho on because they changed the game. They go by people. And as soon as you go by somebody, somebody's got to come across. Or even when Doku gets it, they double up. So
Ali, there's a player that you would have loved back in the day, still playing now. I think he's in Brazil, Balassi. He's been saying a lot on social media about it, about wingers who just get it and pass it back. Now, he was a winger. Him and Wilfried Zaha.
Yeah.
They got the ball. They're not turning down the chance to take their fullback on. Because when you're going to get the ball next?
Correct.
You might be waiting 5 minutes.
The young kid at Liverpool, Ngomor.
Yeah.
I've watched him and I hope he never changes.
Exactly.
I was watching it, I think it was Wolves, can't remember what game it was, Rob or whoever was giving the ball and just bang, he just turned and looked at the fullback and says, I'm having a go at you here.
All right, Ali. Third one is we have the amazing, legendary player and manager, Frank Lampard, on the biggest show on the channel on Thursday. Forget about awards, the biggest show on the channel.
Without doubt.
Frank Lampard is on
That's not
Thursday
up a debate.
morning.
Not up a debate.
The biggest show on the channel, The Breakfast Show. Do you think he could be the England manager one day?
I'd say I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. One day, the answer to your question is yes, I do. But it'll be so. If it were to happen, it would be a good bit down the line.
Yep, no rush.
I think you look at somebody like Frank, and he has more than served and serving an apprenticeship. Success at Derby. He's in a position now, Frank. I think he's sampled a little bit of everything. You know, he's his success. You know, he's the disappointment. You know, he's a bit of everything. I actually think, I don't know about yourself, I think Thomas Tuchel You know, I think he's a terrific coach, a different, different class as a manager. But I'm kind of old school, and I think in an ideal, doesn't have to necessarily be, but I just think in an ideal situation, your national manager should be one of your own.
Do you know what? I'm excited to ask him on Thursday, Ali, because all the top elite players. How do you hide that frustration in your coaching? For someone like Lampard and Gerrard, they must be like, why can't you just get it and put it in the top corner?
I know.
Why can't you get it and ping it 50 yards across the pitch? Why is it so hard? Do you know what I mean? Like when Roy Keane come to Villa, 100%. He was confused about the standard. So when you go and coach a championship club,
I think the first thing you've got to accept is that sometimes your playing staff aren't capable of doing the things that you could do.
That's a big part of it, isn't it? You can't be too too harsh on the players when they're not at the level that you're used to as a player.
Absolutely, mate.
Back to you, mate. Pundit of the year.
Thanks very much, pal. I've thoroughly enjoyed the show this morning. How's your day looking?
I'm going to go back and listen to your speech last night. See if you mentioned your wife. Hopefully you do, Andy.
I mentioned everybody else.
Apart from and the kids.
Brilliant. Everybody got a mention.
You get a safe flight though, mate.
I will get off to Madrid. I'm looking forward to that game tonight. I'm going to watch that game tonight. We bite to eat, watch a game, and then obviously the Arsenal game tomorrow night, which I'm looking forward
to it, pal.
You too. Thanks for your time this morning, and thanks for your time out there this morning. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as Gabby and I have. Now, coming up, stay tuned. Simon has come in his chariot to celebrate his third SGA award in a row. The throne is being brought into the studio as we speak. Now, the award-winning Jim and Simon are coming next, right here on talkSPORT.